the first time since, well, it hasn't been too long, just last year. Prior to that, they won it in 4 consecutive years from 2010 to 2013. They also took a title in 2006. Duchesne looking for state championship number 7 if they can beat the Tigers here today. Last year they beat Kanab, and an interesting twist, they beat Kanab for the championship. The Eagles had lost to Kanab during the regular season, and Duchesne hoping that Milford doesn't return that favor this year, where Duchesne beat Milford in the regular season. Milford looking to repeat what Duchesne did last year and lose in the regular season and then beat their opponent in the championship game. Now Milford comes in, and they've been fantastic this year, and while Duchesne's scores have not looked like a lot of blowouts, but they've certainly dominated and won 10 of their 11 games. Milford's wins have been dominant wins, and you certainly see that on the scoreboard. They've scored 60 or more points, I believe, 4 times this season. Milford Tigers just putting up points like crazy. They've scored 40-plus points in 6 of their 11 games this year. 63-point win, 63-0 over White Pine, Nevada in Week 2. They beat Layton Christian 42-0. Topped Rich 21-7. Their only loss was midway through the season, September 22nd, at Duchesne, 21-12. They pounded Altamont, came from behind to beat Kanab in the regular season, 29-26. Blasted Monticello, hammered Parowan, 54-18, in what was essentially the 1A South Championship game, a 54-18 win for the Milford Tigers. And then so far in the playoffs, a win over Rich at home, 28-6. And last week, in what was, I think, a lot of folks expected to be a closer game, since since Milford had beat Kanab in the regular season just 29-26. But last week, the Cowboys were no match for the Tigers. 38-20 was the victory for Milford last week against Kanab. And in that game, I was impressed by Milford's ability to go to the air early. They got a couple of quick strike scores early on. They scored in just a minute and 12 seconds on their first drive, a minute 39 on their second drive, 6 seconds, 1 play on their third possession. But then in the second half, it was a lot more pound and ground, take their time and punch it in. Longer drives, more plays, 8 plays, 12 plays, 81 yards on their first drive, 4.5 minutes, and then they made it 32-7 midway through the third quarter with a 10-play, 59-yard drive. And that's so they really went to a more of a game, a ball possession game in the second half. And so Milford did it with the quick strike. They also did it with the longer drawn-out drives as well in the second half, and pounded Kanab last week 38-20. Milford comes in number 1 team from the South at 10-1 so far coming into this game. The last time the Tigers even appeared in the state championship game was 1994. They lost to the Rich Rebels that season, a year after they had beat the Rebels for their only title in Milford Tiger history, 1993 state champs. Now, it's been a while since Milford has gotten this far. As I mentioned, since 1994. Prior to last year, they had not won a playoff game before the year 2000, but they've been solid the last 2 years. Lost last year to Duchesne in the semifinals, and of course here today in the state championship against the Duchesne Eagles. Some quick information about both Duchesne and Milford. Eagles are number 1 in defense, and no 1A opponent has scored more than 14 points on Duchesne this season. They've outscored their 1A opponents by an average score of 24-7. In fact, if we look back at the schedule for Duchesne, the only team to even score twice against Duchesne during the regular season was Milford. They scored 12 points. Parowan scored twice last week, 2 touchdowns, 14 points. But Duchesne's defense has been excellent this year. They're averaging or allowing just over 10 points per game. Also, their offense runs 56.5 plays per game, and I did the math on all the 1A teams this year, figured it out that the average for all 1A teams is 46.5 plays per game. So Duchesne's offense is running 10 plays more per game than their opponents, than all the other 1A teams on average. And that's exactly what Coach Jerry Cowan wants. The more, if he can run an extra 5 or 10 plays per game, that means the opponent's offense is not on the field, and especially in a game like we have today where Milford's offense is so dangerous. They're number 1 in offense at 40-plus points, or just under 40 points per game, 39.3 points per contest for the Milford Tigers. They've scored 40-plus points in 6 of the 11 games this year. They've scored 50-plus 3 different times. But that's not all. They're good defensively, too. They're number 3 in 1A, and they have almost 4 or just over 4.5 sacks per game. And they're led by by Trey Williamson. You may see him on your roster as Brian Williamson. They call him Trey. 164 tackles. That's almost 15 tackles per game. Got to watch out for him. He's not big on the sacks, but they do have a couple other guys who do get a lot of sacks. Ike Keller, Gus Thompson with 10 sacks apiece, and as I mentioned, Trey Williamson almost 15 tackles a game. So you'll hear his name a number of times throughout the day today. It's the Eagles and the Tigers for the state championship. Duchesne and Milford. We're at Southern Utah University Eccles Coliseum, and this is your pregame show brought to you by Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. This holiday season, give the gift of a custom Line-X bed liner from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston, Wyoming. Gift certificates are available, and with very competitive pricing and high-quality work, this could be one of the best gifts ever for your significant other. Stay tuned. We'll have a quick break. We'll be back with more of our pregame show. We have interviews with both coaches, Thane Marshall of the Milford Tigers, Jerry Cowan of the Duchesne Eagles. Those interviews are coming up when we return on MyLocalRadio.com presentation of Utah 1A playoff football.
When it comes to quality, Ellingford Brothers in Evanston always delivers year-round. Whether you are looking for cement, gravel, road base, cement watering troughs, culverts, sand, steel fabrication services, steel products, accessories for your vehicles, trailer hitches, or snow removal for your company or organization, Ellingford Brothers is the name to remember. Quality services and fair prices. 3 things you'll always find at Ellingford Brothers. Call us today at 307-789-1515.
If you or your friends are looking for a home or vacation home at beautiful Bear Lake, you don't have to wait any longer to live your dream. Bear Lake Realty has properties in every price range. Relax. Create memories for generations to come in your home or vacation home at one of the most beautiful lakes on earth. It all starts with a phone call. We will help you find the perfect home for you and your family. Call today, Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty. 435-946-8888 or go to bearlakerealty.com.
Ryan Steinekert with Thane Marshall, head coach of the Milford Tigers. Coach, congratulations on making it to the championship game.
Thank you, Ryan. It's been a big accomplishment for the team and the whole town of Milford.
You guys just missed out last year, and it was an injury late in the year that kind of hampered you along the way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually it wasn't an injury. It was appendicitis the night before the semifinals.
But this year, knock on wood, everybody's healthy. You guys are rolling along. You beat Kanab in a narrow margin. In the regular season, you really pounded them last week in the semis.
That game against Kanab the first time was kind of a turning point of our season. That the kids really realized that, if they get down, a couple of touchdowns, they can still come back. And they fought hard. And I think they really matured that game and started to learn how to win.
I was really impressed last week in the semifinals, Coach. When you talk to other coaches, they say, man, Milford, they're a big play, a quick strike team. But last week, and you scored a few times real quick, but in the second half, you ground out some lots of plays, longer drives to eat up the clock and still put more points on the board in that second half.
Yeah, we've been really stressing that in practice. We do what you call an inside run for 20 minutes. We knew we couldn't rely totally on our passing game because you never know what the weather is going to be, and sooner or later you got to run the football to win the championship. You got to be able to take time off the clock, and you can't go 3 and out every time and put your defense in a spot where they have to defend. So we've been really working on sustaining drives and really kind of not trying to score. We'll take the big score, but we've been trying to work on the other aspect of our offense too.
I know you guys won the state title over Ridge in 1993. Is that the last time Milford made it to the championship game?
They actually went back the next year, and I can't remember who beat them. I think it was Alamo beat them the next year by the same score that they beat Ridge the year before. So they went back to back, and that's the only 2 state championship appearances in Milford history.
Coach, talk about a little bit your quarterback play. Bryson Barnes, obviously, he's throwing the ball extremely well, 27 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions this season. He's also second on your team in rushing the ball. And I think one of the most impressive things is that he's a sophomore and he distributes so well. It's not just 1 or 2 guys he's throwing to, it's 4 or 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a favorite receiver. He just takes what the defense gives him, and he's a real student of the game. And him and my offensive coordinator, they watch film together. My offensive coordinator works at the jail, and so he's been on night shifts, and so they call each other on the phone, and they're watching the same film, and they're both. He's just on a different level than most kids at his age.
It's just impressive, and he makes the way he makes decisions. He looks like a college junior or senior rather than a high school sophomore.
He really does. He's really got a really good football mind, and hopefully by the time he's a senior, he has a really good football body. He's not too bad now at 6'1", 185 as a sophomore. So hopefully he's got a little room to grow and just keep getting bigger. And he does. He doesn't always want to hit a home run ball. He'll take the underneath stuff. So it's he's a defensive coordinator's nightmare.
Coach, you've had a heck of a season, just one loss. That was against Duchesne, your opponent in the championship game. What do you need to do differently to beat the Eagles this afternoon?
We need to match up their physicality on the front line. We've got to win in the trenches. The skills players, I think, we're probably better at the skills play. They grind the ball, but we got good speed on the outside, and Bryson seems to be, if he's on and the kids catch the football. But the main thing is our offensive defensive line has got to control the line of scrimmage.
Duchesne will obviously want to keep the scoring low and possess the ball as much as possible. You guys, I imagine you'd rather take a lead early, force them to play from behind, maybe get into a shootout. If the more points are scored, probably the more it favors you.
Yeah. We're going into the same thing as when we played Rich, and we want to score big and score early, and we want to get Coach Cowan out of his comfort zone, and also I think his main goal is to keep Bryson on the sideline. Bryson can't hurt him if he's over on the sideline. They want to do 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust, and we're just the opposite. We want to go and get as many yards as we can and as many points as we can.
Coach, anything else we should touch on?
Oh, that should do it. I just appreciate you guys coming down and doing it, and it's a real boost to get some notoriety and for you guys to carry this so that the Milford people who have moved out of the area can watch it and enjoy it too.
Payne Marshall, head coach of the Milford Tigers in the state championship today against the Duchesne Eagles. Coach, thanks so much for your time and good luck in the game.
Thank you.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Whatever you need for your truck, the specialists at Ellingford Brothers in Evanston have you covered. Get everything from specially formulated durable Line-X bed lines to trailer hitches that match any size load. Have it installed by the professionals. Light repairs and custom welding services are also available. So whether it's bed liners, hitches and fifth wheel hitches, headache racks, toolboxes, flatbeds, and utility trailers, have it built to fit by the professionals at Ellingford Brothers, 221 County Road in Evanston.
We're back at Southern Utah University, the 1A state championship game, Duchesne versus Milford. We heard from Milford's Payne Marshall. Let's hear from Jerry Cowan, head coach of the Duchesne Eagles.
Brian Stoniker with Jerry Cowan, head coach of the Duchesne Eagles football team. Coach, congratulations on making it back to the championship game, another season for the Duchesne Eagles.
Yep, we're excited to be here and just looking forward to Saturday.
What was your take on last Friday's game, the win over Parowan? You guys scored the first 21. They came out hot, though, in the third quarter and mounted a bit of a comeback.
We came out hot, and we told the kids at halftime, these guys aren't going to quit. We figured if we could score one more, go up on them, because we got that opening kick in the second half. And we figured after that we could get them to kind of quit, but that didn't happen. They scored one, and then they very next possession, a couple plays into it, they scored another one. So just shows you how high school athletics can change so drastically. Sports in general, at any level, and got to be ready to go all four quarters.
They found some success in the passing game. Is that something that, you played Milford already once this year. They're going to pass a lot in Saturday's championship game. That's obviously something you're preparing for.
Yeah, completely different game plans. Parowan, we were hoping we could make them pass and take the run away. And, they caught us on a couple, but that was kind of what we knew could happen. With Milford, it's a more balanced attack, and like you said, more of a maybe a little more of a passing attack. So they can run the ball too, so that give you that extra dimension that you gotta try to prepare for, and it's tough to do. They're a very scary team. They don't really have a weak spot. All their skilled kids are capable of making big plays. And their quarterback, he can run and throw. And they've just got some good senior leadership and they're a hungry team. So it's going to take our best to beat them again.
Did you feel like you played your best when you beat them last time back in September?
Well, I always think you can say you could have done some things better. We had a couple of red zone opportunities that we didn't score on. They did too, though. So, it's one of those games where we had them at home, and I think that kind of, anytime you play someone at home, you got to count that as a few points just with the home field advantage. So you put us on a neutral field, I don't think you can really say there's a favorite, because both teams are playing well and both teams are, it wouldn't be a surprise, I don't think, either way.
Coach, you're playing for your 7th state championship just since 2006. Do you feel like that may give you an advantage because your guys, you were there last year, you've got so much experience in that state championship setting?
I think it gives you a little bit of an advantage. We have a couple, 4 or 5 returners from last year that actually played significant minutes. But at the same time, I think you can kind of say it gives you a disadvantage when you get a team like Milford that hasn't been there, and the excitement that they're going to have, maybe compared to what we're going to have, which you hope that's not the case, but just in general, that's something you got to be concerned about. So I think in a way it helps, and also in another way, maybe it's a disadvantage.
I got to expect Milford and Coach Marshall want to come out and get a lead and force you guys to play from behind. How do you avoid that on Saturday? Our
big thing is if we get in a shootout with these guys, we're in trouble because they're a quick strike team, and although we can score quick at times too, we're hoping to, be sound and hold on to the ball and not turn it over and, long drives. And, if they get up on us, which very well could happen, we just got to stick to our game plan and hopefully crawl back into the game, because if we panic and start doing things that we're not comfortable doing, it could get real ugly real quick. The longer you can keep the ball out of their offensive hands, the better off you'll be. Yeah, that's the general idea. Coach, anything else we should touch on? No, I think you do a great job, and we appreciate you. Anytime you want to talk, we're willing to do that, because we know you guys put a lot of time into it, and hopefully we can go out and give the 1A North a represent well, and hopefully all the Rich fans and people around the state in the North for sure are rooting for us, because we've got a good group of kids, and they've worked hard, and we're excited to be there. Coach Jerry Cowan of the Duchesne Eagles, again, congratulations on making it back to the championship game. Good luck against the Tigers on Saturday. Appreciate that.
Thanks so much, Coach. We'll take one more quick break on the Ellingford Brothers pregame show. We've got the coin toss going on now. Kickoff is coming up in a moment on this 1A Utah Playoff Football presented by MyLocalRadio.com.
Having a cabin close to home where you can get away for a day or two or a week at a time is something many people dream of but think it will never happen because owning 2 homes is a stretch. Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty has the solution. Quarter shares. You own 1/4 of the property. It's similar to a timeshare, except there are only 3 others who share time in your property. It's simple, cost-effective, and a wonderful way to have it all. Call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty today, 435-946-8888.
It's the Chevy Closeout Sale going on now at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston. Employee pricing is back on select remaining 2017s in every trim package, and employee pricing on all remaining 2017 trucks. Receive up to 20% off MSRP on select models, and that is huge. Or receive 0% financing for 72 months. It's the Chevy Closeout Sale going on now at Auto Farm.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
Welcome back to Southern Utah University. Milford won the toss, deferred. Duchesne elects to receive. To start this football game, we're at Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. Today's pregame show has been brought to you by Ellingford Brothers in Evanston, Wyoming, installing fifth-wheel hitches, bumper hitches, and providing custom fabrication with low prices, quality work, quick turnaround, and more. Visit Ellingford Brothers. That's ellingfordbros.com for those services. Milford to kick off. They're the designated home team, the Tigers. Kick from left to right if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Eagles, the designated visitors in the whites. Milford in the black, tops and bottoms, red helmets. And we're just about underway. Jaron Mortensen back deep to return for the Eagles. Montoya to kick off for the Tigers. A short approach to the kick, to the ball. We're off fielded by Paulson at about the 20, out to the right side, 25, out to the 30 before he's tripped up and brought down. And a short return for Duchesne, but they'll start with decent field position. Looks like they'll spot it right at the 30-yard line. Ten-yard return for Paulson. And the Eagles have it 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. State championship game, 59 degrees here in Cedar City, a beautiful November 11th. Couldn't ask for a better day in southern Utah. Mortensen under center. Ford the deep back, give to Paulson around the right side, some room to run. He drives across the 35, out to about the 37-yard line. And Weston Paulson, that puts him at 824 yards this season. He averages almost 6 yards per carry. Picks up a solid 7 on that first carry of the ball game. Weston Paulson has been, he and Skylar Ford, a tough 1-2 punch for opponents this season. They've combined for more than 1,600 rushing yards this season. Out to the 37-yard line, a 2nd down and 3 for this Duchesne offense. Mortensen, or a handoff around the right side. Looks like the same play to Paulson. Spencer gives it, and Paulson dives ahead across the 40 for a 1st down. Trey Williamson on the tackle. That puts him at about 165 tackles this season. Out to the 41-yard line, 4 more yards for Paulson. A 1st down for the Eagles. And this is exactly the type of game that Coach Jerry Cowan and the Eagles would like. 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down, set up a 2nd down and short. And obviously we're just barely underway in this first quarter, but eat up all the clock they can. Spencer takes the snap, fakes, gives it up the middle to Skylar Ford, and he'll drive his way forward. Decent push from the offensive line, a short gain as the defensive line from Milford is right on top of it. And Ford picks up 2, maybe 3, out to the 44-yard line. Ford this season, 160 carries. That 3-yard gain there pushes him over the 800-yard mark. Couple of touchdowns as a sophomore. Averages 5 yards per carry. A similar runner to Weston Paulson. Big, strong, powerful, bruising running backs. Spencer turns, miscommunication. Nobody was there. He turned left and looked, and Paulson had gone forward to block. I think Spencer was looking for Paulson in the backfield, and Spencer just tucks it, dives forward to get back what he can. Lost 2. Jarrett Spencer this season, 62 carries, just 69 yards. So that's not been the strength of this Duchesne offense. They'll spot that back at the 43, a loss of 1. Spencer, though, through the air has been pretty good. 52%, 1,100 yards, 15 touchdowns, just 4 picks. A 3rd down and 8 for the Duchesne offense. Give to Mortensen coming around the left side, and he found a crease, dove across the 45 to the 46. Neto knifed in there, knocked him off balance, and Mortensen gets out to the 46. 3 yards will bring up a 4th and 5 for Duchesne. Jared Mortensen this season, 76 carries, 445 yards. That's 6 yards per carry. Also, one of the leading receivers on the team. He may be the leading receiver. 21 receptions, almost 400 yards, 6 touchdowns, 19 yards per reception. Duchesne will be forced to punt here near midfield on a 4th and 5 from their own 46. Well, Paulson calls for it and will boot it away. Nice high kick off to the right to the center. Stetson Wright calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 20. And after Duchesne had picked up 1 first down on that drive, Milford defense comes up strong, forces the punt. Part of it was a miscue on that Duchesne offense. But Milford will take over. 8:50 left, first quarter. Brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Visit BearLakeRealty.com for all your real estate needs in the Bear Lake area. BearLakeRealty.com. Barnes under center. He'll fake a pitch and then give it off to Ty Neto, I believe little brother of Wade Neto, who graduated in 2015. Ty takes it up the middle and gains nothing. May have lost a yard. Back to the 19. Loss of 1 for Neto, who came into the game with 926 rushing yards. Needs an average day for him to across that 1,000-yard plateau. 16 touchdowns, plus averages 32 yards per reception. Barnes back in the shotgun. He's more accustomed to that. He's got nobody open, so he'll tuck it and run. Breaks one tackle across the 30. First down, and then he is hit hard, but keeps his feet, drives forward, and the sophomore will move the chains for Milford. Bryson Barnes with his feet. He's done it so many times through the air. 2,644 passing yards this season. Weston Paulson, and I didn't see who the second man was on the tackle. But Barnes gets out to the 32-yard line, rather. Barnes now throws out to the right side, and it's almost picked off. Jaron Mortensen was looking for his 4th interception of the season. Pass was intended for Colton Pomeranke. Jaron Mortensen had 2 interceptions late last week, both in the 4th quarter against Parowan, to help the Eagles hold on for a 27-14 win against the Rams in the semifinals up at Weber State. 7:51 left in this first quarter, brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. Visit bearlakerealty.com. Ball on the left hash, man in motion is Neto. Bryson Barnes keeps it himself up the middle, a big hole. Mortensen makes the hit out around the 40, and Bryson Barnes, talking with Coach Thane Marshall, he said, we're hoping that Barnes, his head is already like a senior quarterback's head. His head for the game is fantastic. 9 yards on that carry. Give left side. Ball pops loose, but I think Milford fell on it. It may have been after the ball was the play was finished. A short gain for the Tigers, and they pick up a first down. Out to the 44, 3-yard gain. Barnes in the shotgun. Steps back, looking to throw. A quick out. He's got Cole Wilson on the sideline. Makes the grab, steps out. First down and more for the Tigers into Duchesne territory at the 42-yard line of Duchesne. Barnes with such good patience, great protection. Wilson with a nice route, and it's a first down, Milford Tigers. Barnes starts the day 1 for 1. That's a 14-yard gain. Cole Wilson, the top receiver in 1A football. Neto gets the handoff right side, breaks one tackle, cuts upfield, spun around from behind, thrown to the ground hard by Weston Paulson, but not until he picks up another first down. That's a 10 or 11-yard gain for Neto, running off the right side, and Milford finding some success. Coach Marshall said we've got to win at the line of scrimmage. Coach Cowan said we've got to win at the line of scrimmage. And so far it's Milford. An 11-yard gain for Neto. His 3rd carry is up at 13 yards. Barnes under center. Neto the deep back. Tight formations, twins left, twins right. Give to Neto left side. He skips forward, has some room across the inside the 20. Still on his feet inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Ty Neto running hard. His first carry went for -1 yard, but his last 3 have gone for 25 plus. This one takes him down to the 13. That's an 18-yard run. Puts him at a total of 31 yards in the game. First down and 10, Milford. 2 straight plays, 2 straight first downs. 2 receivers left. Barnes goes back, fakes the handoff, throws to his right. He's got Jackson Davis, who breaks one tackle, and he's into the end zone. Milford leads 6-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard, and you can hear that Milford crowd. They're set up right down below us in the press box on the west side of the Eccles Coliseum. A 13-yard touchdown pass from Barnes to Davis. And for Jackson Davis, that is his 7th touchdown this season. Receiving 34 or 33 catches now, 421 yards. The extra point attempt blocked by the Eagles. That's an immediate dead ball. And the Tigers will settle for a 6-0 lead on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and be back with more 1A Utah Championship football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Weststar Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit West Star Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. West Star Printing, 307-789-5202.
8 plays, 80 yards. The Tigers go 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Capped off with a 13-yard touchdown pass from Bryson Barnes to Jackson Davis, and Milford leads 6-0. The extra point attempt was blocked. Isaiah Montoya to kick off. He's one of the all-state academic players for this Milford team, I believe. Yeah, he is, Isaiah Montoya. Kickoff to the sideline, bounces, takes a Milford bounce and stops there. Mortensen scoops it up across the 15 to the 20, and he is brought down. A short return for Duchesne, and right now Milford has all the momentum. 4 first downs on that last drive, and Duchesne starts deep in their own territory. Looks like they'll spot it just inside the 20-yard line. We'll give Mortensen a 7-yard return unofficially on that kickoff. Eagles, this is exactly what they didn't want to do, to have to play from behind. So Coach Cowan looking for his team to respond right now. Spencer gives to Paulson, right side. He's got a nice block on the outside, gets around the corner, across the 25, lowers the shoulders, and is hit out of bounds at about the 26-27. And that play, Eagles have run it 3 times. All 3 times it's gone for positive yardage. 7-4 and another 7. Paulson with 3 carries, 18 yards. Eagles trail 6-0. MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. This first quarter brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Visit BearLakeRealty.com. Wide left, Dallas Stewart. The snap, give up the middle. Skylar Ford gets past 1 tackler and then dives ahead. And Milford fired up. Trey Williamson in on that tackle. Out at the 28, just a 1-yard gain. And for Duchesne to be successful, they've got to get more up the middle from the offensive line and Skylar Ford. A 3rd down and short, 3rd and 2. This is what the Duchesne offense is built for, these 3rd and shorts. They line up in that wing T offense. Paulson on the left side, Ford the deep back. Spencer back looking to throw. Pressure comes, flush to his right. He tucks it, tries to run, and he'll be sandwiched and brought down about a yard shy of even the line of scrimmage. So Duchesne will be forced into a punting situation. And that's exactly what Coach Marshall wanted to get out of his team, or force Duchesne into. That's out of the comfort zone for Duchesne on a 3rd and short. They get nowhere, a loss of 1 back to the 27, and Duchesne, for the 2nd consecutive possession, forced into a 4th down, will have to punt it away. Stetson Wright back to return for Milford. No first downs on that drive, and it's a low punt. Wright fields it at the 40, bobbles it a bit, then breaks a tackle at the 50, outside, and he's brought down there at the 50. Good kick coverage by the Rich Rebel import, Cade Lamborn, on the tackle. And with 4:02 left in the first, Milford with an impressive start already leads 6-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. And they have excellent field position starting from just their own side of the center field line. Knows the football on the 50. Trips on the right side. They're bunched up, stacked up. 2 receivers left, handoff to Stetson Wright going left. He's only got about 5 carries this year, but this one is a good one. Goes for about 10, maybe 11 yards inside the 40 of Duchesne. Stetson Wright, that's his 5th carry of the season. He'd gone for 1 yard total prior to that carry of 11. To the 39, Dallas Stewart on the tackle. Stetson Wright picks up 11. Milford looking to move it again. Tigers looking for their first state championship since 1993. Give right side. Neto taking his time. Slips a bit on the turf, and then he has no momentum left. He's wrapped up. Lamborn on the tackle. Wraps him up down at the 38. So Neto still picks up a yard. Ty Neto, 5 carries, 32 yards in the ball game. His first went for -1, but then he went for 3, 11, and 18. 6-0 Milford lead on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. First quarter, Duchesne showing some pressure, and I think they jumped off sides. Brock Adams. Is that Brock on the left side? It is an offside encroachment against Duchesne. First penalty of the ball game for either team. And Duchesne in a position they have not been familiar with this season, trailing in the first quarter. Pressure coming from the outside. Barnes takes the snap. He's hit hard as he throws. Wilson makes the catch at the 12. Sidesteps one tackler to the 5. Touchdown, Cole Wilson and the sophomore Bryson Barnes. I told Coach Marshall he plays, his decision-making is more like a junior or a senior in college. And you watch the way he just stands in the pocket, delivers the throw, and then Wilson does the rest. A 38-yard touchdown pass from Barnes to Cole Wilson. And Milford tacks on another score. It's 12-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. And now I'd expect Milford to go for 2. Looks like they're lining up to do so. Barnes in the shotgun. Look for Wilson on the left side. If they have man-to-man coverage out there, you might see a fade. Duchesne instead will take a quick timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. 12-0 Milford on top in the first quarter. 2:57 left to go on MyLocalRadio.com presentation of Utah 1A championship football.
The best family vacations create lifelong memories. Schedule a family whitewater rafting trip today. Packages include your hotel room, transportation, whitewater rafting, and lunch in a native teepee. The Wind River Canyon is located on the Wind River Indian Reservation in Riverton, Wyoming, and is home to the Northern Arapaho and Eastern Shoshone tribes. Come and enjoy the waves, the breathtaking views of the oldest canyons in Wyoming. Call today the Wind River Hotel and Casino, where families play, stay, win. 866-657-1604.
Milford, that last drive, just 3 plays, started at midfield, 50 yards, and pretty quick. They took it over with 4:02. You've got 2:57. Milford going for 2. Barnes steps back, throws over the middle. He had right, but it's dropped. The flag is on the field on each of the sidelines, though, so Milford may get another crack at this. Right, boy, he was hit pretty hard just as he couldn't hold on to that catch, to that pass. Oh, an illegal substitution on the defense. So not only does that give Milford a second chance on the 2-point conversion, it also gives them an extra half a yard closer. Pitch to Neto left side, and he runs over the defense and in. He just lowered the shoulder and ran right through the defensive would-be tackler. The 2-point conversion is good. Ty Neto, watch this hit. He just runs right through that would-be tackler, which was Dallas Stewart. And the Tigers are on top, 14-0. Coach Marshall told me he wanted his team to take a lead, get Coach Cowan out of his comfort zone. They've done it. The Tigers with 1 first down on that drive. Strike quickly this time, and Duchesne trails 2:57 left in the first quarter. 14-0 Milford with the lead on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. And Bryson Barnes, the sophomore quarterback for Milford, 3 of 3, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns already in the ball game. And he's looking at State Player of the Year for 1A football if he keeps this up. That's 29 touchdowns to 4 interceptions this season. Duchesne out of their comfort zone officially at this point, trailing 14-0, looking to come back. Isaiah Montoya, slow, short approach, boots it high, fielded at the 18-yard line. Mortensen, left side, skips through a couple of tacklers across the 30, still on his feet to the 35. Finally wrapped up and brought down by a gang of Tigers. So a nice return by Mortensen. Out to the 35, they'll spot it. It's About an 18-yard return for Mortensen. And Duchesne trailing 14-0. Has the ball left hash, attacking south to north at Cedar City. Southern Utah University. Same wing formation. Dallas Stewart wide on the left side. Paulson in motion. Here's the snap. Jarrett Spencer running the option. Pitches out for Paulson. It's on the turf. And Weston has to dive out to it on the sideline. And Spencer, through most of this season, such a good decision maker, but that was a poor pitch for Paulson. A loss of 6 back to the 29. Paulson recovered it. So Duchesne maintains possession and avoids giving Milford a short field. But the Eagles, so far in this game, they picked up a first down on their first drive, but then they went 3 and out. This is their third possession, and they go backwards 6 yards on their first play. Ball out to the right hash, same formation with the wing T. And in motion is Jaron Mortensen. He gets the handoff around the left side, gets a block. Can he beat one man? He can, to the 30. Spins to the 35, and he's back across the original line of scrimmage out to about the 37. A solid gain for Mortensen. Great spin move. Get some good tackling. Look at Paulson on the seal block inside. Mortensen spins forward. Oh, no, that was not Mortensen. That was Gavin Davis on the carry. A 7-yard gain. Davis came in having carried the ball just 16 times for 50 yards. Gets out to the 36-yard line for a 3rd down and 9. Duchesne. Paulson in motion. Spencer back to throw. He's got good time. Throws out to the right side, and he's held up by Wilson. Ball well overthrown, but a flag is down, and this will be a defensive holding, I believe, because the contact ended before the ball was thrown. And we may get a pass interference. That would certainly help Duchesne. I think a defensive holding would be a first down anyway. Flag down at the 42. Defensive holding is 10 yards. That's second penalty against Milford, 15 yards. This one puts the Eagles at the 46-yard line with a first down, a fresh set of downs, trailing 14-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. 1:49 left in the first quarter. Milford on top. Paulson in motion right down the line. Give to Skylar Ford. Breaks one tackle. Out near the 50, he stood up and stopped at the 49. And Ford, the sophomore, averages 5 yards per carry, but so far in this one, he's at not quite 3. 3 carries, 8 yards. This one takes him out to the 49. I had a coach in middle school that said if we can get 2.5 yards on every down, we'll do it. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. That's 3. Brings up a 2nd and 7. Handoff right side to Paulson. Waiting, following his block. Now he turns upfield and just pushes his way forward. Uses his strength to get across midfield. A 2-yard gain to the Milford 49. Ike Keller on the tackle. Paulson, 4 carries, 20 yards. And it's 3rd down and 5, and that's not a comfortable position for the Eagles. We've seen him convert some long 4th downs this season. Paulson can actually, a very good pass receiver, 19 receptions, almost 300 yards receiving this season. Spencer takes the snap, fakes one way, gives to Paulson, big hole up the middle, and he will fight his way forward and pick up the first down and just a little bit extra. So the Eagles, and this is a credit to Coach Cowan, at this point, down 14-0. The tendency might be to panic a little bit and start throwing the ball, but he's saying, nope, we're not there yet. Still plenty of time in this game. 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Paulson takes it down to the 43 of Milford. Time running down in the first quarter. Milford on top, 14-0. Spencer under center. Takes the snap, gives to Ford up the middle. Initially a big hole, but then it's closed in a hurry. Trey Williamson comes away from the fray And Ford picks up maybe a yard as we head to the end of the first quarter with Milford on top. 14-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. This first quarter has been brought to you by Bear Lake Realty for all your real estate needs. Whether it's beachfront, room with a view, a secluded mountain retreat, maybe a winter recreation headquarters for any number of timeshare options, now is the time to buy and start enjoying beautiful Bear Lake. Visit BearLakeRealty.com.
They really appreciate every customer at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. They understand that you have lots of options when it comes to purchasing outdoor recreation vehicles. That's why they work hard to earn your business by making sure they understand exactly what you want. They're friends with their customers. When you're happy, they're happy. If you haven't been to their store, they invite you to come visit. And if you've already one of their friends, stop in again soon and check out all of this season's gear. Cache Honda Yamaha in between Logan and Smithfield on US 91.
Milford's coach Thane Marshall wanted to win the line of scrimmage. So far the Tigers doing that. Duchesne has not completed a pass, and the Eagles have 35 rushing yards. The Tigers have scored twice and lead 14-0. Second down and 9 for the Duchesne offense. Turn and give to Skylar Ford. He's got a little room this time. Follows a blocker inside the 40, down near the 37. Ford had 4 carries for 9 yards prior to that. About a 5-yard gain. Trey Williamson in again on the tackle. Down to the 37, that's 5 yards. And brings up a 3rd and 4 for the Duchesne offense. Returning defending state champs. They've won it 6 times since 2006. 4 in a row from 10, 11, 12, and 13. Give to Paulson up the middle, and he works his way forward, dives inside the 33 to the 32. That'll be a 5-yard gain. Ike Keller on the tackle. Paulson with 5 yards, puts him at 31 rushing yards on 6 carries. A lot of teams have, when they employ heavy 2-back sets, it'd be a thunder and lightning type situation. You certainly see that with Parowan's, Porter Miller and Ethan Guyman. Duchesne, though, between Ford and Paulson, it's 2 similar type running backs, big, strong, powerful guys. Paulson this time the deep back. He gets the handoff, starts right, cuts back against the grain inside the 30, hops to the 28, and the Tigers stop him there. Ty Neto and Gus Thompson on the tackle. Thompson leads the Tigers with 10 sacks this season. Paulson, 4 yards on that carry. 7 carries, 35 yards in the game. Had a good day last Friday, a week ago, in the semifinal game. Gets the handoff again up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet inside the 25. Paulson last week, 72 yards on 22 carries against Parowan. You're not going to see a lot of big gains from Paulson, but he's so steady and consistent. Takes this one to the 24. 4 more yards for Paulson at 39 yards on 8 carries in the game. Duchesne trails 14-0, but knocking on the door. They're at the 24 of Milford, a 3rd and short. And this is something Duchesne's built for. The 3rd and short, give to Paulson right side. He is tripped up immediately. Trey Williamson got in the backfield and brought Paulson down for a gain of just 1 to the 23. Trey Williamson all over the field. He's showing you right now how he averages almost 15 tackles a game. 4th down and 1. Tigers trying to stop Duchesne. The Eagles looking to move the chains. Keep the drive alive. Answer the Eagles' 14-0 lead. Spencer keeps it himself, dives forward. This will be close. Where the line judges are coming in, it looks like it'll be a 1st down. We may need to measure it, though. Line judges come in at the 22, and that's right what the Eagles needed to move the chains. Whitecap official says, let's take a quick timeout and measure this thing. Boy, Jarrett Spencer needed 1. He picked up 1, and this is very close. For Duchesne, this is a critical play, a critical moment. The spot. If they can keep this drive alive, punch one in before Milford gets another score on the board. And the way that Milford's offense has been working, they're 2 for 2. They've had 2 possessions. They've scored twice. And here's the measure. Boy, this is a big moment right here for the Duchesne Eagles, the defending state champs. On a 4th down, come up. Just, the angle is a little funny. Just enough. Oh, by the stitches on the nose of the football, Duchesne moves the chains. And hear that crowd reaction from the Milford crowd. And the Eagles just move the chains. And if you're watching at home on mylocalradio.com or on KSL, the angle was a little bit funny, so that may have looked like it was short, but the officials with the best angle out there, they call it the first down. Ford in motion. Spencer turns, and they hesitate, give it into the backfield, and Milford says, fine, if you're going to give him the first down, we're not going to let him get past there. Jared Mortensen is stuffed in the backfield. Ike Keller and Trey Williamson in the backfield. Look at the defensive pressure, the penetration, and Jaron Mortensen had nowhere to go. He's brought down back at the 25, a loss of 2. Mortensen 2 carries, 1 yard in the ball game, came in averaging 6 yards per carry. Duchesne taking their time here. Coach Cowan knows if nothing else, we're going to take all the time we can and keep Bryson Barnes and that Milford offense off the field. Spencer under center for a 2nd down and 13. Fakes left, rolls to his right, pressure comes, still has time, lobs it out to the left side, and Mortensen can't hang on, trying to pull in a one-handed grab. The pressure of the defense was right on him. Jackson Davis, Trey Williamson also out there as well. And the pass incomplete, so Jarrett Spencer starts the day 0 of 1 through the air, and that brings up a 3rd down and 13 for the Duchesne offense. Spencer runs to the sideline, comes back out to bring in the play. 8:09 left second quarter. Milford on top 14-0 in the state championship. The second quarter is brought to you by Ellingford Brothers, cement, gravel, road base, on-time delivery, and competitive pricing. Visit ellingfordbros.com. A 3rd down and 13. Spencer back looking to throw over the middle. He lobs it deep for the end zone, and it's knocked down by the Milford defense. It looked like Pomeranke could have picked it off, but just instead let it drop. Maybe he was thinking it was 4th down, or maybe thinking we'll get another chance on 4th down here. So the pass falls incomplete. This drive, 15 plays, has eaten up about 6 minutes of time. But Duchesne about to come up empty. Out of field goal range for sure. Cade Lamborn has a good boot, but inconsistent on extra points. He's missed 10 or 12 of them this season. Missed one last week in the the semifinal game. Duchesne lined up to go for it here, and a timeout called by the Milford Tigers. Coach Marshall wanted to see just how Duchesne came out lined up. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back from Southern Utah University and this MyLocalRadio.com presentation of Utah 1A Championship football.
When you buy or sell real estate, it's important to work with a realtor that has experience, is knowledgeable about the market that you're interested in, and has your best interest at heart. At Bear Lake Realty, you'll find all of these traits plus more when you work with Gary McKee and his professional team. So whether you're buying or selling land, a home, a summer home, or a quarter share, make sure you're working with the best real estate team. Call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty today.
Milford has had 2 possessions in the game. They've scored twice. The Eagles picked up a 1st down and then punted. Then they went 3 and out. This drive, 15 plays. It's 4th and 12. Eagles at the Milford 25-yard line. And as big as that spot was on the measurement a few minutes ago on 4th down, this 4th down and 12, probably bigger. Spencer back looking to throw. Looks like he's setting up a screen. Pressure all over him. He throws down the right sideline out of bounds. He was hit as he threw, and it flies incomplete. And the Tiger defense forces a turnover on downs. That drive for Duchesne. 3 plus, that's a 7-minute drive. 7:02 time of possession on that drive, and Duchesne comes up empty-handed. So the Tigers will take over, 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. 2 receivers stacked, or 1 on the right side, 1 out wide on the right. Pitch to Neto, right side, and fighting through to make the tackle was, I believe, Lamborn. So Neto, a short, well, got back to the line of scrimmage is all. Ty Neto is about 35 yards away from a 1,000-yard rushing season. Barnes from the shotgun, looks left, looks right, flushed out of the pocket, room to run. He'll tuck it and go to the 30, 1st down, and he steps out at about the 40. May have stepped out a little before that, but Bryson Barnes will move the chains and pick up a fresh set of downs for the Milford Tiger offense, which has yet to be stopped today. Barnes out to the 38. That's 13 yards. He's the 2nd leading rusher in this Milford Tiger team. Neto with close to 1,000 yards. Barnes came into the game with 406 rushing yards. Hands off this time to Neto, left side. He's out across the 40, still on his feet, and then he's brought down there right at about the 40-yard line. Cade Lamborn on the tackle. 7:04 left to go, first half. This is Milford's 3rd possession. So far, they've scored on the other 2 possessions they've had. Neto with just 2 yards on that 1st down carry. Milford scrambling to get guys in position. Barnes under center. It's the flea flicker. Barnes heaves it deep down the middle of the field. Wright had cut his route short over the middle, and Barnes threw it deep. There's Bryson's 1st incompletion of the day. He's at 3 of 4 for 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. I did the math, figured out the efficiency rating. If he was an NFL quarterback, his quarterback rating would be 126.5. And just to compare, you talk about Alex Smith having such a great year. He's at 113.9. The Golden Boy Tom Brady at 106.5. Drew Brees, future Hall of Famers, at 105. Carson Wentz, the up-and-comer, is at 104.1. So Bryson Barnes at 126.5 draws the defense offside on a encroachment. 2nd encroachment of the day against the Eagle defense. And I don't have stats on Duchesne's penalty averages this season, but I would wager they're at maybe 5 or 6 a game. They're already at 3 in this one with 6:40 left in the 2nd. A 3rd down and short, and Duchesne just about jumps off again. The right end, Sergio Anaya, stays in neutral territory. Barnes backs up into the shotgun. Ball comes in hot. He bobbles it, picks it up, throws. Cole Wilson makes the grab and fights forward to the Duchesne 45. Wilson with Dallas Stewart right on him. He bobbled it. It popped out of his hands and still made the grab and picked up the 1st down. A 10-yard gain. Sometimes that oblong football bounces your way. It did twice on that play alone for the Tigers. Barnes fakes the pitch, rolls to his right, lots of pressure. He'll roll back left and heave it down the sideline. Neto was in the region, and Barnes took a hit as he went down. I think it was Cade Lamborn who laid him out. Cole Wilson with that 10-yard reception on the last play. 3 receptions, 62 yards, and a touchdown. He came in as by far and away the #1 receiver in 1A football. 38 catches, 845 yards coming in. 9 touchdowns. That's up to 10 touchdowns and close to 900 receiving yards. Barnes from the shotgun fakes the throw. Now he tucks it. He's going to run. Breaks 1 tackle at the 40. Dives ahead to the 41, or the 36 rather. And he'll be very close to a 1st down. A 9-yard run on 2nd down will bring up a 3rd and short. Barnes getting it done through the air, getting it done with his feet. 75 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 carries, 44 yards on the ground. He's the leading rusher, the leading passer He's leading his team. The sophomore lines up for a 3rd and 1 under center. Now he backs up, looks to the sideline. All the Milford helmets look that way as they get a new play. Check the wristbands. Time running down on the play clock, and Barnes takes the snap. Pressure comes from the right side. He goes left. He's got the first down. Big block from Cole Wilson downfield. Barnes has the first down and more. And if you're tuned in, watch this block from Cole Wilson to spring Barnes free here on the left side. It'll be near the left side of your screen. Barnes with 2 blocks consecutive, and that gets Barnes down to the 24-yard line. And a wide receiver who can block downfield. Most folks agree that was one of the things that made Jerry Rice the best of all time, was his blocking ability down the field. 12 yards on the run for Bryson Barnes, who's at 56 rushing yards on 5 carries. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, pulls it away on a read option, and he'll lose a couple. Cade Lamborn in the backfield, Jack Roberts back there as well. Roberts, the leading sack getter for the Duchesne Eagles, 12 sacks this season. He's also second on the team in tackles at 55. That's about 6 per game. Under 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Milford on top, 14-0. A loss of 3, back to the 27, and a flag flies in. Offside, another one. This Duchesne defense, boy, they're getting antsy to try and get in there, put pressure on the offense, and it's not helping them out. 5 yards to the 22. Barnes from the shotgun, back, throws to the right side. He's got Pomeranke, caught at the 5, spun out of bounds by Jaron Mortensen, and Milford has a 1st and goal down to the 5-yard line. Pomeranke, with his first catch of the day, came in with 21 receptions, 339 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And that sets up Milford with a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. 17-yard reception. Barnes, 5 of 6. 92 yards, 2 scores in the ball game, first half. Milford on top, 14-0. Double reverse. Neto gets the handoff right side. He is in. A flag is down on the near sideline, on the Milford Tigers sideline, as Neto scores from 5 yards out. They initially gave it to, I believe, Wright coming to the left side, and then he handed off quickly back to Neto going around the right side. The way teams are reacting, I think this will be against Milford and push them back. Illegal motion on the offense. So from the 4 back to the 9. Third penalty of the day against Milford, 20 yards. The way their offense is rolling, though, a 1st and goal at the 9 shouldn't worry them too much. 4:30 left to go, first half. Tigers on top, 14-0 against the defending state champion Duchesne Eagles. Eagles looking for their 7th state championship overall. They won it in 06 and last year. Give to Neto. He starts up the middle, has nowhere to go, tries to bounce it outside, and nothing doing. Brock Ford, the sophomore, gets in there for the tackle, and Neto loses a couple. Looks like they spot that back at the 12. So a loss of 3. 3 in the backfield. Loaded pistol with Stetson Wright coming in motion left to right. Barnes takes the snap, looks out to right on the right side, decides to tuck it and keep it himself, looking for a block on the outside, breaks a tackle at the 10 to the 5. He's shoved out of bounds, dove for the pylon but didn't quite get there. Stepped out about the 4. Sergio Anaya with the hit, and Milford with a good gain by Barnes. He's so decisive. He looked out there, and I think the play was intended for him to throw it out to right, but he saw something he didn't like and just quickly tucked it and ran. Down to the 4, an 8-yard gain for Barnes. 3rd and goal at the 4-yard line of Duchesne. Tigers with 2 receivers right, 1 out left is Cole Wilson. 3 in the backfield, including Barnes in the shotgun. Looking right, pitches out to Neto, nothing, nowhere to go. Eagles in there, and Neto battles his way back to the line of scrimmage at the 4. And now Milford will be in maybe a field goal situation. Isaiah Montoya, the kicker, senior, all-state academic football player. Will they bring him on? No. Tigers to go for it here. Stacked receivers left side are Pomerankian right. Barnes steps back looking to throw. Pressure comes. He gets away. Sprints to the right side. Dives forward. Reaches out. And he is just short. So Duchesne will stop Milford at the 1 with 3:06 left to go in the second. What an effort from Bryson Barnes. 3-yard gain. And if we watch the replay, boy, the pressure came right up the middle from Jack Roberts. Barnes got away, dove ahead, and that foot went down just before that knee went down just before he could reach out and get the touchdown. So a turnover on downs gives Duchesne the football with 3:06 left to go first quarter, or second quarter rather, from their own 1-yard line. Spencer takes the snap, quick give to Paulson on the right side, and he drives. Good blocking, nice big hole on the right side, and Paulson gets out across the 7. Or no, that was Skylar Ford on the carry. And they'll spot him out about the 8. A nice solid 7 yards for Ford. It puts him at 6 carries for 21 yards in the game. If you're Duchesne, probably ideal scenario here, you get a score before halftime. At least you hold on to it long enough to keep Milford out of the end zone. Give on an end around, and Caleb Sanchez is brought down in the backfield. Duchesne trying to go with a little bit of trickery here, and Sanchez brought down back at the 2, a loss of 6. Milford Tiger fans here in front of us on the bleachers, they know if their team can get it back with even close to a minute left to go, they've got a legitimate shot at putting another score on the board before the half. Hard count from Spencer and a whistle and a flag will give Duchesne a little more breathing room. That's the 4th encroachment of this game. Maybe teams adjusting to the added fan base in the stands, the added intensity of a state championship situation. 1:45 left to go in the first half. Milford on top 14-0, and Duchesne facing a 3rd down and 3. And the Eagles, I mentioned a best case scenario would be to score before the half. At minimum, they want to keep the ball long enough to prevent Milford from getting the ball back and scoring, and a timeout just before the Eagles started that last play. Coach Marshall was crying for it as there was some confusion from his team on the field. We'll take a quick timeout as well. Milford on top 14-0, 1:29 left in the first half on this presentation of Utah won a championship football on mylocalradio.com.
On the construction site, time is money. The professionals at Ellingford Brothers have top quality cement ready to go whenever and wherever you need it. Make sure your timelines are met. Have everything you need delivered right to your job site. Whether it's ready-mix concrete, custom crushed sand and gravel, pit run or road base, with 2 dedicated batch plants, you can count on Ellingford Brothers. Delivering on time for generations. 221 County Road in Evanston.
Back at Southern Utah University, the UHSAA state championship football game, and the 2A game that ended about an hour ago, maybe a little more, hour and a half. The South Summit had a 21-10 lead going into the 4th quarter against the Beavers from just up the road, and South Summit scored 17 unanswered points in the 4th to win and finish an undefeated season. 38-10 was the final in the 2A championship game. South Summit, the state champs. Duchesne facing a 3rd down and a long 3. Trailing 14-0 with 1:32 left in the second half, or second quarter rather. Spencer, quick throw out to the right side, looking for Paulson. It's behind him and incomplete. And he had some room. Had the throw been on target, Paulson would have had a first down and a bit more. But Spencer couldn't hit him. And Jared Spencer, the senior, 0 for 4 in the game. Came in 58 of 111, 52% through the air with 1,001 yards, or 1,101 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 picks through the air, but he's been unable to find his rhythm today. He's 0 for 4. So the Eagles into a punting situation, a low line drive punt by Paulson, takes a Duchesne bounce out to the 45, rolls out. We'll get close to the 50-yard line, and Milford will take over a 1st and 10 from near midfield in their own territory. Duchesne's drives have gone punt, punt, punt. They got down to the Milford 25 before a turnover on downs, and now a punt. Tigers with the football. Their own 49-yard line. 1:15, that's plenty of time for this quick strike offense. Barnes flushed out of the pocket, looking back to his right, still running to his left, breaks one tackle, spins away, and he's out of bounds. Just about got back to the line of scrimmage. You saw his strength as a defender grabbed him by the back of the collar, and he just runs through that tackle. Sergio Anaya couldn't bring him down. Barnes loses a couple on the run. Back to the 47. In the shotgun, Barnes back to throw, over the middle, nope, left side, and incomplete. Cole Wilson had cut his route off at about the 35. Barnes threw it deep. That's just the second incompletion of the day for Barnes, who's 5 of 7 for 93 yards with 2 touchdowns through the air. He's got 8 carries for 64 yards. Count that last one as a sack, as he was dropped back looking to throw. A 3rd down and 12 for the Tigers, and Stetson Wright moved early. No. Yeah, now he did. It looked like the Tigers were going to try and play that off as, oh no, we weren't trying to run the play just yet. But it will be a 5-yard penalty against the Tigers, who are up to 5 penalties for 30 yards. Back to the 42-yard line. Milford faces a 3rd and 17 with a 14-0 lead on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. Eagles with plenty of defensive backs out there. Barnes in the shotgun. 3 trips on the right side. Pressure comes again up the middle. Barnes starts right, goes left. Like Russell Wilson, fakes the throw, runs left, then heaves it down the left sideline, and incomplete. Looking for Cole Wilson down there. Good coverage by Brock Ford, who had position, and Wilson had to go up and try to play defensive back. So Barnes started 5 of 6. He's missed on his last 2. Tigers wanted to get one more before the half, but it looks like they'll be forced to punt with 49 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Jaron Morrison back deep to return for the Eagles. Ball in the left hash. If you didn't watch Thursday Night Football the other night, that last little scramble by Bryson Barnes looked a lot like Russell Wilson throwing to Doug Baldwin. Tigers lined up to punt it away, and Williamson gets off a slow end-over-end, fumbled and picked up by Pomeranke. And I said it was Mortensen back to receive, but it was Gavin Davis who couldn't control the punt. So the Duchesne defense finally does its job, but then the Eagles punt return team gives it right back with 42 seconds left to go in the half. And the Tigers have it at the Duchesne 31. As if they needed help to move the chains. Barnes in the shotgun, trips right. This time gets good protection. Waits, still waits, and he looks to run. Wrapped up. And a good tackle by Adrian Carrillo. He did not want to let go of Barnes's foot, and Bryson picks up just 1 Nope, got back to the line of scrimmage is all at the 31-yard line. Milford will take a timeout. And I got to imagine Coach Marshall wants to tell his quarterback, hey, I would say it might be a little too quick to tuck it and run. Of course, his decision-making so many times this season has been so good. 29 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, and if he's not seeing somebody open, I guess you got to trust that. Our second quarter is brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. Custom fabrication, toolboxes, vehicle accessories, camper accessories, trailers. Always call Ellingford Brothers first. 307-789-1515. That's 307-789-1515. You can also visit them online at ellingfordbros.com. They do all kinds of work, including cement, gravel, road base, and much more. Visit ellingfordbros.com. Tigers scored on their first 2 possessions. The Eagles got down inside Milford territory to the 25 before a turnover on downs, but they've punted on all their other possessions. Eagle offense has not been solid, and the Milford Tigers offense has done enough to lead 14-0. A second down and 10. Barnes in the shotgun. Pressure coming, and he'll step away, get away from Lamborn. Circles around, back to his right, throws. He's got Pomeranke on the right side. Nope, that's Wilson who makes the catch, breaks a tackle, breaks another at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Cole Wilson. Broke 2 tackles after Barnes had eluded 2 or 3 would-be tackles. And the Tigers are on top 20-0. Bryson Barnes, 3 passing touchdowns in the game. That one for 31 yards. Look at Wilson break the tackle and spin away from another. And he gets a Stetson Wright convoy into the end zone. Wilson with his 11th passing reception of the season. Montoya kicks, and it is good. The Tigers lead 21-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. And that drive, after the Duchesne fumble on the punt, just 3 plays, 31 yards, make it 2 plays, 31 yards. And not a lot of time. 23 seconds off the clock. The Tigers' first drive, 8 plays, 80 yards. The second drive, 3 plays, 50 yards. And just a minute and 5 seconds on that second drive. This one, they had to go just a short field, 31 yards. A pass from Barnes to Wilson. And Cole Wilson, 4 receptions, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bryson Barnes, 6 of 9. 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. Here's the kickoff. It's a short squib kick, fielded, and nowhere to go for Duchesne. Out at the 40. It was fielded about the 38, and Brock Ford goes nowhere. Duchesne with 12 seconds. Will start from their own 40. Milford, 9 first downs in that first half. Duchesne with just 5 first downs so far. The Eagles, I don't know if they take a shot here. Milford, one of the touchdowns they scored the last time these teams met, September 22nd, was on a pick 6. But you're down 21-0. You might take that risk. Spencer in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Milford with nobody back deep, but plenty of defenders, plenty of defensive backs. They throw. Stetson Wright intercepts it at the 38. Milford sideline goes nuts, and with 7 seconds left in the half, maybe Milford takes a shot. Barnes has a strong arm, can throw it 50, 60 yards in the air. Stetson Wright with the interception. And if you're wondering, if you're familiar with bronc riding and the Wright name, Cody Wright, world champion bronc rider, is Stetson Wright's father. If you drive into Milford, there's signs on either end of town, the north and the south end of town, that says home of Cody Wright, world champ bronc rider. Barnes back in the shotgun, heaves it down the right sideline, looking for Wright, who stumbles and falls to his back. Milford fans crying for a pass interference, but he just tripped up as he turned and went down hard. He stays down, and boy, we'll certainly hope that Stetson Wright is okay, as that takes us to the end of the first half with the Milford Tigers on top 21-6 on the Duchesne Eagles. Duchesne with a deficit to try and battle back from in the second half. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. This second quarter has been brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. Visit ellingfordbrothers.com for all kinds of work, fabrication, custom fabrication, cement, gravel, road base, and more. ellingfordbros.com.
It's the Chevy closeout sale going on now at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston. Employee pricing is back on select remaining 2017s in every trim package, and employee pricing on all remaining 2017 trucks. Receive up to 20% off MSRP on select models, and that is huge. Or receive 0% financing for 72 months. It's the Chevy closeout sale going on now at Auto Farm.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
Welcome to the halftime show. State championship football. And Milford doing defensively to Duchesne what Duchesne usually does to its opponents. The Eagles with 56 yards of offense, all of those on the ground. Nothing in offense through the air for the Duchesne Eagles. It's the halftime show brought to you by MyLocalRadio.com. Visit MyLocalRadio.com for high school photos of high school sports, for news and sports, live sports coverage of the Evanston Red Devils, the Rich Rebels, and all the teams they face. It's time for the all-state academic team to take the field. UHSAA members out there, 3 Rich Rebels, a couple of Pair 1 Rams, and a spattering of other players from around the state. Anthony Rust from Altamont, Jacob Shakespeare from Kanab, Isaiah Montoya from Milford. You see him down there in his Milford Tigers uniform, football pads and all, here at the half. Monticello's Brayson Wilcox, Parowan's Trevor Bassett and Trey Stubbs, the Rich Rebels Kinnan Clark, Nick Jarman, and Porter Weston, and the Wayne Badgers Barlow Pace, the state, all-state academic all-state team from 1A football. Combined GPA of 3.993. Kinnan Clark with close to 1,000 yards rushing this year for Rich. Trevor Bassett, one of the leading receivers for Parowan. Brayson Wilcox, a standout athlete for Monticello. And the combined GPA for those guys, 3.993. Impressive. All-state academic members. At the half, it's Milford on top, 21-0. And I'll be honest, looking back at the way these teams faced off, they played it back on September 22nd. And I expected if Milford had a lead at the half, it would be somewhere in the ballpark of 12-10 or maybe a 14-13 lead. But Milford comes out strong in that first half. Duchesne beat Milford the last time these teams played, September 22nd, 21-12. But this first half was all Milford Tigers. And I mentioned Duchesne with just 56 yards of offense in the first half. Now, that's unofficial. That's my stats. But Jarrett Spencer 0 for 5. He ran it 4 times for -7 yards. Weston Paulson ran it 9 times for 40. Skylar Ford 6 times for 21 yards. Jaron Mortensen twice for 1. Gavin Davis once for 7. And Caleb Sanchez once for -6. Milford dance team out on the field now. You can watch those dancers perform as we continue to bring you more of the halftime show. That's what Duchesne did in that first half offensively. Not much. They picked up just, let me count this out, 5 first downs. 5 first downs for the Duchesne Eagles in the first half. And the #1 defense, who's allowed 10 points per game. This is the first time this season that Duchesne has allowed its opponents, any 1A opponent, to score more than twice. Parowan scored 14 last week. Milford scored 12 against Duchesne back on September 22nd. And boy, Milford coming out on fire today. They offensively, the Tigers offensively, have been much better than the Eagles offensively. Bryson Barnes leading the way, 6 of 10 through the air, 124 yards and 3 touchdowns. And plus, he's got 9 carries for 64 yards. He's accounted for 200-plus yards in the game already, and that's just through the first half. Ty Neto, 9 carries, 31 yards. Stetson Wright, 1 run for 11 yards. And Cole Wilson, leading receiver, 4 receptions, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. What a game already offensively for the Milford Tigers, who lead 21-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll take we'll keep it right here so you can continue to watch the Milford dance teams perform. Then we'll take a quick break. It's interesting to look at Thane Marshall in his 4th year as head coach of the Tigers. Has gone 26-16, and the first year or two were a bit of a struggle. In fact, if you look back at his first year as coach of the Tigers, 5-5, pretty good, especially considering where the Tigers had been prior to that. And then 2 years ago, 4-6. In 2015, 5-5, but last year was the breakout year for Milford, 7-4. And really, what Coach Marshall has done is nothing short of excellent, phenomenal. Especially looking at what they've done so far here in this state championship game. 26-16 overall. This is in his 4th season, and the Milford Tigers lead 21-0. Jerry Cowan in his 6th season as the head coach, and he assisted prior to that with Duchesne, 60-9, and I think 6 or 5 state championships, maybe 4, I guess. He took over in 2011. The Eagles won it in 06, then again in 10, 11, 12, and 13, and last year. But boy, they've got their work cut out for them if they want to make it number 7. Trailing 21-0 at the half as the Duchesne Talon dance team performs on the field. It's a dance team that's won. It got excused. What is this? They've won it 13 in a row. The Talons, 14 state championships in a row for the Duchesne Talons dance team. What's that? The Talons, Duchesne, competing in 1A in football this year, 2A in everything else. And these guys broadcasting for Strata Network saying it'll come to an end. That 14 in a row streak will come to an end this year. They're still a very good, very dedicated, hardworking dance team, and very good. The Tigers at first half for Milford, just impressive. The one time they had 4 possessions, 5 possessions. They were forced to punt once. They turned it over on downs once at the Duchesne 1-yard line. Their other 3 possessions ended in touchdowns. 8 plays, 80 yards, and a score on their first possession, then 3 plays, 50 yards the second time they had it. And right before the half, 2 plays, 31 yards, and a touchdown. And again, it all starts with Bryson Barnes, 6 of 10, 124 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the ball game. And very impressive what he's done to not force balls in. He's tucked it and run maybe a little bit more than you'd like to see your quarterback do, but when the defense doesn't give you anything, and that's one of the things that Coach Thane Marshall told me is that makes Barnes so good, is that he takes what the defense gives him, and he's certainly done that today, not forcing anything in. Nothing's been even close to intercepted by the Duchesne defense. Oh, we're at the half. Milford leads 21-0 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and be back with more of our halftime coverage, brought to you by Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Installing fifth wheel hitches. They do bumper hitches and provide custom fabrication and much more. Low prices, quality work, quick turnaround. Visit ellingfordbros.com. You're tuned into 1A Utah Championship Football presented by MyLocalRadio.com.
Your truck works hard for you. Give it all the accessories it needs. Ellingford Brothers has the best accessories around. See them today for a wide variety of hitches, grill guards, and more for your truck. Ask them about a Line-X spray-on bed liner. It's specially formulated and very durable. Ellingford Brothers has quality products and affordable prices. Stop by their office today at 221 County Road. Ellingford Brothers. For your next construction project, count on the best. Ellingford Brothers in Evanston.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
We sell fun. Come see and feel the fun when you shop at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. You and your family will have fun year-round, in the water with personal watercraft, in nature driving your side-by-side or riding your four-wheeler, or in the mountains on your snow machine. It's always fun at Cache Honda Yamaha, no matter what the season is. Our showroom is full of inventory to choose from. Start having more fun today. Visit Cache Honda Yamaha between Logan and Smithfield on Highway 91. We sell fun.
If you or your friends are looking for a home or vacation home at beautiful Bear Lake, you don't have to wait any longer to live your dream. Bear Lake Realty has properties in every price range. Relax. Create memories for generations to come in your home or vacation home at one of the most beautiful lakes on earth. It all starts with a phone call. We will help you find the perfect home for you and your family. Call today, Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty. 435-946-8888 or go to bearlakerealty.com.
Back in Cedar City at Southern Utah University's Eccles Coliseum. Home of the T-Birds. They're in action tonight, I believe, at UC Davis. SUU basketball team started the season, lost, pretty close loss to Oregon State from the Pac-12. Coming into this game, the Duchesne Eagles and the Milford Tigers both were at 10-1. They both won their respective divisions. The Eagles 1A from the north, the Tigers 1A from the south. The Eagles number 1 in defense, number 3 in offense in 1A football. The Tigers, number 1 in offense, number 3 in defense. They say defense wins championships, but so far the better defense has been the Milford Tigers. They've shut down the Duchesne offense, just 56 yards of offense, all of that on the ground. Jarrett Spencer 0 for 5 with an interception, no yards in the passing game for Duchesne, and that is precisely what Coach Thane Marshall wanted to get out of his team in that first half. Put a couple of touchdowns on the board. Well, they got 3. Keep Duchesne off the board and get them out of their comfort zone. The situation now for Duchesne, the way their offense runs, is they're going to have to be just about perfect in the second half offensively just to match what Milford put up in that first half. And then got to be perfect defensively to keep Milford off the scoreboard. The Eagles' offense this season averages 23 points per game, and that's per game. Now, they scored 21 against Milford the last time these teams met, September 22nd. And so they've got to get that in the next 2 quarters just to climb back in, and that would tie it, of course, if they can keep Milford off the scoreboard. It's 21-0 at the half. Milford Tigers on top. Duchesne 56 yards of offense in the first half. The one bright spot, is not real bright, I guess it's a little bit of a light there, is Weston Paulson's 9 carries, 40 yards. He and Skylar Ford have combined this year for almost 1,700 yards. And Paulson, looking back at the last couple of years, came into this game with almost 300 carries last year and this year combined, 1,733 yards and 24 touchdowns. He's been a workhorse for this Duchesne Eagle team and part of last year's state championship team. 24 touchdowns in the 2 seasons. And boy, they're going to need a big comeback in the second half, a big half from Paulson and others to get back into this one. Another player to mention from Duchesne that maybe they could look for for some big plays. Jaron Mortensen last week versus Parowan had 9 carries, 52 yards, 3 receptions, 53 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he had 12 touches, 2 of them for touchdowns, and Also intercepted 2 pair 1 passes. Mortensen hasn't done much in that first half, just touched it twice, 2 carries, 1 yard. But again, through the passing game, it just didn't get going for Duchesne in that first half. They'll look to get it going better in the second half. As for the Tigers, I mentioned Bryson Barnes quite a bit. He comes in as the #1 passer in 1A football. He's at about 13th or 14th in all classifications, and came into the game with 2,644 passing yards. Add the 124 to that, and he's at 2,768. That's close to 3,000 passing yards this season for Milford's sophomore Bryson Barnes. And with the 3 touchdowns today, 30 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. And one of the impressive things about it from the sophomore is so many different targets. He's got 5 different receivers on this Milford Tigers team that have 300 or more receiving yards. And in this game, he's found 3 different guys. Cole Wilson, 4 catches for 93 yards, 2 scores. Jackson Davis with a reception for 13 yards and a touchdown, and Colton Pomeranke with 1 reception for 18 yards. And it's just Bryson Barnes, his decision making, his field vision is just, it's impressive, especially from a sophomore. We'll take another break here on the halftime show, brought to you by Ellingford Brothers, with cement, gravel, road base, and all kinds of other construction work, plus the custom Linex bed liners and more. Plus, for farmers and ranchers, the best quality cement troughs, custom built critter ladders, abutments, and wings. Call Ellingford Brothers in Evanston, Wyoming, 307-789-1515. That's 307-789-1515. Or visit ellingfordbros.com. MyLocalRadio.com presents 1A Utah Championship football. The Tigers lead the Eagles 21-0 at the half.
Having a cabin close to home where you can get away for a day or 2 or a week at a time is something many people dream of but think it will never happen because owning 2 homes is a stretch. Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty has the solution. Quarter shares. You own 1/4 of the property. It's similar to a timeshare, except there are only 3 others who share time in your property. It's simple, cost-effective, and a wonderful way to have it all. Call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty today, 435-946-8888.
The best family vacations create lifelong memories. The Wind River Hotel and Casino in Riverton, Wyoming offers a family dinosaur dig and vacation package that includes digging for fossils at the Wyoming Dinosaur Center, sack lunches, tours of the museum, and lovely clean rooms for a comfortable night's stay. With 3 restaurants to choose from, you and your family will have fun, eat well, and rest easy. Schedule your family dinosaur dig at the Wind River Hotel and Casino in Riverton, Wyoming today. Call 866-657-1604.
If you're looking for live local sports, local news, weather, live classifieds, and free photo downloads, search no more. MyLocalRadio.com has what you want. Watch your teams live or browse the tens of thousands of photographs of Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho high school events, from speech and drama competitions, rodeo, an array of different athletics, activities, community events, and so much more. Visit MyLocalRadio.com today and find what you're looking for.
What did one thirsty range cow say to the other? I'm utterly parched.
Thirsty livestock equals lower profits. Protect your profits now with high-quality cement troughs from Ellingford Brothers in Evanston, Wyoming, a family-owned company serving ranchers across Wyoming and beyond for over 75 years. Before your profits go teats up from the thirst, contact Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Increase the life of your trough and protect small range animals with a critter ladder. Ellingford Brothers, Evanston.
$21-0 at the half. The Milford Tigers dominant in that first half of play, leading 21-0 over the Duchesne Eagles, the defending state champs. The Tigers, this is the first time they've been to the state championship game, first time they've been playing football this week of the season since 1994. Most of these kids that are out there on the field, let's do some quick, none of them were even alive the last time Milford made it to the state championship game. None of those players, even the seniors, would have been just still a twinkle in their parents' eye, were their parents even married at that point, or together, or maybe even known each other. But the point is, Milford has not been here since 1994. They lost that title game to Rich 94, Rebels won it in 94, 95, 96. The Tigers had won it the previous year in 93. They made it to 2 straight. Won it in 93, lost it in 94, and had not appeared even in the playoffs from 2000 to 2015. They got back to the playoffs last year and lost to Duchesne in the semifinals. Well, Milford looking to return the favor, but a week later in the season, the Tigers on top 21-0 at the half over the Duchesne Eagles. And, of course, talked with both coaches. We heard from them in the pregame show. And Coach Cowan said, boy, if we get in a shootout, if we fall behind, we're in trouble. We can score in a hurry. We can score in a hurry. We don't do it much. And for Duchesne to get back into this one, they may need to score a couple of, at least one quick touchdown. For Milford, this is exactly the type of game they wanted. Coach Marshall has a strategy against teams like Duchesne or Parowan or Rich, those ground and grind teams like Duchesne and Rich and Parowan, is get a lead and force those teams out of their comfort zone, force them to play from behind. Duchesne's this season has run the ball 82% of the time. They've only passed about 18% of the time. Most of their yards come on the ground. 2,400 rushing yards this season compared with 1,100 passing yards. As for the Tigers, they're about half and half run to pass, but most of their yards has come through the air. Almost 2,700 passing yards coming into the game, almost 1,500 yards on the ground. And so they're really, maybe aside from Kanab, the one team this year in 1A that's built to try to come from behind, especially a 21-0 deficit. Duchesne got it to start the first half, so Milford will receive the opening kick in this second half, and as if things weren't already leaning Milford's way, they're going to get the football. 8 seniors on this Duchesne Eagle football team. Dallas Stewart, Jarrett Spencer, Weston Paulson, along with Sergio Anaya, Braylon Thompson, Jack Roberts, and the Rich Rebel import, Cade Lamborn, along with Connor Ayers. For the Milford Tigers, 16 seniors. Coach Thane Marshall took over when those seniors were just freshmen. Tyler Davis, Ty Neto, Stetson Wright, Hayden Wright, Jackson Davis, Isaiah Montoya, Ryan Mayer, Dane Wunderlich, Colton Pomeranke, Cole Wilson, Andy Dominguez, Brian Williamson, that's Trey Williamson, John Hardy, Carver Orge, Colton Robinson, and Gus Thompson. As the Tigers get set to receive this opening kick of the second half, our halftime show has been brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. Visit ellingfordbros.com. Cade Lamborn to kick off for the Milford Tigers, leading 21-0. Lamborn gets the whistle, points to the football, approaches, and boots it away. It's a short kick and bounces away from Cole Wilson. He picks it up at the 18, starts right, goes back left, but he's quickly wrapped up and gets only out to the 22. And that's what Milford needed, is a quick coverage. Now they need a 3 and out. So Milford will start one of their worst field positions of the day. They started their first drive at their own 20, but then they started at midfield, the 25, the 49, and Duchesne's 31. This drive from their own 23. First down, Bryson Barnes, 6 of 10, 3 touchdowns in the first half, under center with Neto the deep back. Pitch out right side to Neto. He'll stop, look to throw, fires it, and picked off on the left side. Jarrett Spencer with the interception, tripped up at the 20. And if Duchesne wanted to get back into this one, that's one way to start. Ty Neto came into the game. He completed a nice pass over the middle last week in the win over Kanab, but this one is underthrown. He tried to fire it in, and Jarrett Spencer with the interception. And an interesting play call there from Thane Marshall, the coach of the Milford Tigers. His quarterback, Bryson Barnes, the best quarterback in 1A football, maybe over the last bunch of years. And instead of having his quarterback throw, he has his running back throw the football. So Duchesne with a first down at the Milford 19. Give right side and nothing. I think it was Ford on the carry. And watch Ford just get bottled up. The Milford defensive line in there with don't leave him anywhere to go. Wyatt Parker in on the tackle. Ford did battle his way forward for a yard. Ford with 7 carries, 22 yards in the game. Came in averaging almost 6 yards per carry. Give up the middle. Paulson finds some room to run. Good blocking, still on his feet, driving forward inside or close to the 10. Be just short of the first down, but a 3rd and 1 is right in Duchesne's wheelhouse. 18 down to the 10. Duchesne with a quick no huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage. Paulson behind Spencer, gets the handoff. Has a first down, still on his feet, fighting to the 5, down near the 4-yard line. It's Paulson with a nice carry. 6-yard gain and a first down for Duchesne. Spencer under center for 1st and goal. Duchesne knocking on the door, looking for their first score of the game. Hands off left side. Paulson eludes one tackler, gets down around the 2, maybe the 3, before he's spun around and thrown to the ground. The Tiger defense. Eagles. Gain 2 on that play. 2nd and goal. Give again to Paulson, right side. His progress is stopped, but he fights through the tackle and dives into the end zone. And there's the strength and the power from the senior Weston Paulson. That's how that big boy has run for almost 2,000 yards in the last 2 seasons, and that's a big one. Duchesne capitalizes on the interception by Jarrett Spencer. Put one in, a touchdown. Spencer with 13 carries, 58 yards. Or it's not Spencer, but Paulson rather. Spencer will hold for Lamborn to kick the extra point, and they need this one. Lamborn boots it plenty of distance, and he gets it through. He's been pretty consistent this year there. Duchesne on the scoreboard, trailing 21-7 with 9:45 left. 3rd quarter. We'll be right back after this on mylocalradio.com as we present Utah 1A championship football. Look at that. Paulson battles into the end zone.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Well, we just did it a moment ago. We'll do it again. Kate Lamborn, a little pooch kick. It's on the ground. Lamborn dives, but Milford falls on it. Colton Robinson, one of the seniors for this Tigers football team, sees that onside kick attempt coming and secures the football. So Duchesne trying to catch the Tigers by surprise. But the Milford Tigers ready for it, and they'll take it over near midfield, their own 49-yard line. Shorter field again for the Tiger offense. Barnes in the shotgun, brings Neto right to his side, fakes the handoff, throws over the middle. He's got Cole Wilson at the 40, and he's got a first down, wrapped up and brought down by Dallas Stewart at the 35. Great hands by Wilson, reaching out to pull that one in from the 49 down to the 35-yard line, 16 yards. Cole Wilson with 5 receptions, 109 yards. Handoff to Neto, running left. Gets a block on the outside, breaks around the corner to the 30, breaks a tackle, hit hard by Weston Paulson down at about the 25. And a big gain. So a big gain for Neto, down to the 23. 12 yards. Neto at 10 carries, 43 yards in the game. It came in averaging 6.6 yards per carry, but well, you'll take a first down there for sure. Barnes, quarterback keeper all the way. inside the 20, breaks a tackle, still on his feet to the 15, and he's wrapped up and brought down. And this is not the way Duchesne's defense needed to come out and start this second half if they want to get back into this one. Duchesne trails 21-7 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. Down to the 14-yard line, a 9-yard gain for Barnes, who's at 73 yards on 10 carries in the ball game, plus 140 yards through the air with 3 touchdowns. Tight formation with stacked receivers right and left. Barnes fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. He's looking for Cole Wilson in the end zone, throws, and it's short. And Wilson almost got down to the ground and scooped it up, but falls incomplete. Barnes 7 of 12 for 140 passing yards. Second down, or make it 3rd and 1 for the Tigers. They took the shot there. Now with a 3rd and 1, they'll likely go for the first down. Pomeranke and Wright stacked on the left side. Wilson and Jackson stacked. Jackson Davis stacked on the right side. Barnes fakes the pitch, hands off to Neto. He's got a convoy to the 10, first down to the 5, and then he's finally pulled and drugged down at the 4. A 10-yard gain on a 3rd and 1. And you got to think, as much as this Duchesne defense has been on the field, and the way that Milford is starting to run the ball in this 3rd quarter, Duchesne's big boys are maybe starting to get a little winded. A 1st and goal for Milford at the 4-yard line of Duchesne. Tigers already on top, 21-7 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. Barnes under center, stacked receivers left, stacked right, and Barnes keeps it himself up the middle. A short gain as he spun around and brought down Jack Roberts on the tackle. Leading tackler, or second leading tackler on the team, Weston Paulson, number 1 for Duchesne. A short gain, they spot it down at the 3, just 1 yard. Back under center, Barnes takes the snap, gives to Neto, and he's in. Touchdown on the left side. Got to the 1 before he was touched. And the Tigers respond to Duchesne's touchdown with a score of their own. See the good blocking on the left side. Neto sees that lane and dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Milford. Neto's first touchdown of the day, 17th rushing touchdown of the season. Add 2 more receiving touchdowns. He's got 19 scores this year. Montoya kicks. All-State academic team member boots it through, and the Tigers lead 28-7 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll take a quick break here in the 3rd quarter of Utah 1A Championship football presented by MyLocalRadio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
7 plays, 51 yards, 2 minutes, 11 seconds off the clock. Milford responds to Duchesne's short drive on a short field after an interception. Milford responds and makes it 28-7 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. Isaiah Montoya to boot this one away. He takes just 4 steps back, and it's a short approach. Paulson and Mortensen back to return. It's a short kick. Paulson fields it at the 22. On the right side, follows a block, breaks out at the 30, to the 35, down the sideline, breaks another at the 40, to the 45, pushed out of bounds. And a big return for Weston Paulson. Duchesne needs a few more big plays like that. About a 22-yard return for Paulson. And Duchesne, 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. They have had no success through the air so far today. Jarrett Spencer, 0 for 5, 1 interception, no yards. On the ground, Weston Paulson, 13 carries, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Skylar Ford behind Spencer under center. Turn, give to Paulson. Spencer was hit as he gave that handoff to Weston, and Paulson fights across the 48 to the 49 for a short gain. Russell Walker on the tackle, and Paulson every yard. Tough and difficult earned yards. 7:04 left to go, third quarter. Milford on top, 28-7 in the state championship game at Southern Utah University. Spencer takes the snap, rolls to his left, now looks back right, now throws over the middle. He's got Brock Ford, the sophomore tight end, makes the catch, first down and a little bit more. Good throw by Spencer, and that may open a little bit of things for in the passing game. That's Spencer's first completion of the day. Down to the 43, 6-yard gain. Brock Ford with his 9th reception of the season. That's 250 yards. He came in averaging 30 yards per reception. A couple of touchdowns as well this season. Skylar Ford, Brock's brother, in the backfield. Here's the snap. Spencer keeps it himself, dives forward on the option, and gains maybe a yard to the 42. Spencer with 5 carries, minus 6 yards in the game. Eagles with the football in Milford territory at the 42-yard line. Shadows start to get bigger. This game was scheduled to start at 1:30. The 2A championship game went a bit long. South Summit beat Beaver 38-10. This 1A game started about almost an hour late. Spencer under center, takes the snap. Pressure comes. He gets a key block. Just time to throw it away. Incomplete. And Milford, which was beat in the trenches the last time these teams played, September 22nd, is winning that battle in this game. Spencer 1 of 7 for 6 yards, and a big part of that has been pressure, just like on that last play. Has not had time to drop back and throw. That sets up a 3rd and long for the Eagles offense. One receiver left. That's Dallas Stewart, I believe. And wing T offense, they give to Paulson, coming around from the left side, going right, and he will gain a couple, but really not much there. And you got to expect that Coach Cowan will go for it here. Probably called that last play expecting to go for it on 4th down when he was probably hoping to gain 5 or 6 rather than just 2. Paulson, 15 carries, 64 yards. Came in averaging almost 6 yards per carry. He's at 4.3 yards per carry in this game. A 4th down, 7 yards to go for Duchesne with 5:05 left in the 3rd quarter. Paulson in motion. Pressure comes, looking for maybe an encroachment. They're not going to get it, and Duchesne, I believe, will have to call a timeout. They'd gotten a couple of encroachments earlier in the game. They don't get it this time. 4th down and 7 coming up when we return. Milford on top, 28-7 in the state championship game, and won a Utah championship football on mylocalradio.com.
When it comes to parts and service, don't rely on anyone other than the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. The professional mechanics and parts department team have the experience to help you with whatever you need. When you need to add a winch, get an extra belt or spark plugs, winterize, repair or replace tires, or have a rebuild, they can help. Whatever you need, gift ideas, parts, accessories, or a great mechanic, you'll find it all at Cash Honda Yamaha in between Logan and Smithfield on Highway 91.
Milford fans excited about the score, 28-7. The Tigers haven't even been here since 1994. They lost to Rich that season. The previous year, Milford won it in 1993. They beat Rich that year. A 4th down and 7 for the Duchesne Eagles, trailing 28-7 on the mylocalradio.com scoreboard. Duchesne at the Milford 40 will go for it on a 4th and long. Paulson in motion. Spencer back looking to throw. Gets a little extra protection. Steps up away from the pressure. Throws it away at the last second. And if this is intentional grounding, I don't see a flag out there. Milford picked it up, and Trey Williamson wanted to head for 6. hoping it was a fumble or be called a fumble, but it won't. Looks like the officials will take it easy on Duchesne and just call it a turnover on downs, an incomplete pass. Brian Mayer in the backfield as well, and Milford takes over. Duchesne just one first down on that last drive. Milford will take over. Looks like they'll just call it an incomplete pass. There were enough Duchesne Eagles back there. Weston Paulson was one running back who stayed in the backfield to block. So the officials may have just believed he was close enough in the area to call it an incompletion. 4:48 left to go in the third. Milford takes over, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Give to Neto. He breaks a tackle, first down into Duchesne territory, and a first down and more. Boy, Neto running harder and harder as the day goes on. And he picks up 12 to the Duchesne 48. Boy, Milford in control, leading 28-7, 4.5 left to go in the third quarter. This is almost a home game for the Tigers. They're just up the road about an hour and a half. Barnes back, looking to throw, gets away from pressure, still looking, throws downfield, and he finds Jackson Davis. Did he catch it? It looks like he did. It looked like it skipped through his arms and may have been trapped, but the officials say it's a catch. And that's the word we'll take. Down to the 40-yard line, about an 8-yard gain. Look at Barnes eluding pressure, and then on the sideline somehow throws away against his body, looking like Aaron Rodgers to throw it down to the 40-yard line. And Jackson Davis with his second reception of the day. Barnes, 8 of 13, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks on the day. In the state championship game, the sophomore playing more like a senior. Give to Neto up the middle. He hesitates, and that's enough for Duchesne's defense to get in there and hammer him. Weston Paulson, Jack Roberts, and I believe Brock Adams in there as well. Oh, excuse me, Brock Ford. So Neto loses a yard. A 3rd down and 3. Barnes from the shotgun. Back, looking to throw. Pressure comes. He'll step up away from it. Breaks a tackle. One man to beat around the 45, and he'll be drugged down from the caller. Milford fans, coaches, and others erupting in frustration that there's no whistle. Sergio Naya on the tackle. No whistle, no flag. You can hear some boos and jeers from the crowd. 4th down is the call from the Whitecap official. Barnes lost a yard, back to the 42. We'll call that a sack as Barnes had dropped back to throw and pressure came, forced him out of the pocket. He's been sacked one other time in similar fashion today. Lost just 3 yards, but he's run for 74 yards on 11 carries. And now Milford lined up looking like they'll punt this one away. Trey Williamson is the punter. And back to return is a different man for Duchesne, as their last punt return was fumbled and given back to Milford just before the half. Williamson boots a high one out toward the right sideline. It takes a Duchesne bounce and stopped at the 22. Duchesne will take over. And the Eagles need a quick score. 1:44 left to go in the ball game. Milford on top, 28-7 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. This third quarter is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. If you're looking for beachfront or room with a view, maybe a secluded mountain retreat, now is the time to buy and start enjoying beautiful Bear Lake. There's lots of great winter recreation as well in the Bear Lake area, from skiing at the Beaver Creek or Beaver Mountain, snowmobiling, snow machining, whatever you want to call it. 1st and 10 for Duchesne. Give left side, Mortensen, or Davis rather. Looks to run, picks up a few. And Gavin Davis with a decent gain around the left side of the Duchesne offense. Second carry of the game for Gavin Davis. That's an 8-yard gain. He's at 15 yards on 2 carries. Out to the 30. Duchesne quickly back up to the line of scrimmage on a 2nd down and 2. Give up the middle and a 1st down, a little bit more for Skylar Ford. Across the 35. Looks like they'll spot it at about the 36, maybe the 37. That matches Ford's biggest carry of the day, 7 yards. He's at 29 yards on 8 carries. A minute left to go in the ball game, or left to go in the 3rd quarter, rather. Milford on top, 28-7. They scored 3 unanswered touchdowns in the first half. And teams are even so far in this 3rd quarter. Spencer under center for 1st and 10. Polson in motion. Takes the snap. Back looking to throw. It's a screen, and Polson has it. Bobbles it, but keeps a hold. He gets a big block down the left sideline. Still on his feet. 1st down and more into Milford territory. Down close to the 40-yard line of Milford. And Duchesne takes advantage of those Milford linemen pinning their ears back and just rushing as fast as they can to the quarterback. Nice screen play and a big block to get Jackson Davis to the ground and out of position to make a tackle. Down to the Milford 43-yard line. That's a 20-yard gain. Weston Polson, one of the leading receivers for the team, 19 receptions, 295 yards coming into the game. That one goes for 20. 1st down, Eagles. Ball to Milford 43-yard line. Left hash, Spencer throws. He's got his man caught by Gavin Davis. Makes a move to get away from one, but he can't get away from Cole Wilson. Wilson laid a big hit on Davis. May have knocked the wind out of him. Close to a 1st down. Looks like they'll spot it at the just short of the 35. Duchesne's offense starting to find a little bit of rhythm with the passing game. Spencer started 0 of 5, but he's completed 3 of his last 5. Give to Polson on the right side, or was that Ford? Down near the 30. And that should take us to the end of the 3rd quarter with the Tigers on top, 28-7. Duchesne beat Milford earlier this year, September 22nd, 21-12. This one a different contest. Duchesne battling from behind as we finish up the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter coming up when we return on this MyLocalRadio.com presentation of Utah 1A Championship football.
It's the Chevy Closeout Sale going on now at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston. Employee pricing is back on select remaining 2017s in every trim package, and employee pricing on all remaining 2017 trucks. Receive up to 20% off MSRP on select models, and that is huge. Or receive 0% financing for 72 months. It's the Chevy Closeout Sale going on now at Auto Farm.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
"12 minutes left to go to decide a 1A champion. South Summit beat Beaver 38-10 for the 2A title. Milford looking for a similar outcome in this one. They lead 28-7. Duchesne, the defending state champs, looking for the comeback. It would be one heck of a comeback, especially for a ground and pound offense like the Eagles have. They've got a 1st down and 10 at the Milford 31-yard line. The snap, throw out to the right side, and incomplete. Intended for Gavin Davis. So the pass incomplete. Duchesne, a 2nd down and 10. Spencer in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Ford in the backfield. Spencer throws right. He's got his man wide open, but it's thrown too far to the outside. Davis couldn't make the adjustment. Looking into the sun, he was all by himself and would have walked into the end zone had the pass been there. Spencer now 3 of 12 for 34 yards and an interception. And that brings up a 3rd down and 10 for the Eagle offense. Same formation, 2 receivers left, 2 out wide right. Ford on Spencer's right hip in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks left, pressure comes, he throws, and it's incomplete. Intending for Paulson, and Ty Neto on the coverage. Paulson dove out there just as Neto hit him, and the ball sailed wide and incomplete. Coach Cowan probably thinking he might catch Milford by surprise with a few passing plays here, but they go for 0 yards on 0 for 3. And it's 4th down and 10. Eagles needing a score, trailing by 3 touchdowns, 11:44 left to go. Knocking on the door at the Milford 31-yard line. A 4th and 10. Eagles up to the line of scrimmage. Plenty of time on the play clock. Shotgun formation. Jarrett Spencer with Ford on his right hip. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Low snap. Spencer pulls it in, throws deep down the middle of the field, and Brock Ford, the tight end, had a step on his defender, but the pass overthrown. Incomplete, and Milford forces a turnover on downs. Milford will take over. Duchesne with 3 first downs on that drive, but couldn't keep it going late in the drive. 11:36 left to go in this football game. Milford in the driver's seat, their own 31-yard line, leading 28-7. The MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. Barnes in the shotgun. Trips on the right side, 1 receiver left. Handoff to Neto around the right side. Good blocking, cuts upfield at the 35, keeps his feet, spins around to the 36. And a solid gain of 5 for Ty Neto, who's got 15 carries, 72 yards in the ball game. And sets up Milford with a 2nd down and 5. Tigers looking for their first championship since 1993. Barnes in the shotgun. Now looks to the sideline for a different play. Calls for the snap. Looking to throw. Good pocket protection. He steps up, and he's got it tucked. He's going to run. He's hit from behind. Holds on to the ball. Picks up a couple out near the 38. And you got to one thing that Duchesne's coverage has been good today. There's been at least 7 or 8 times, maybe more, that Barnes has dropped back to throw and had nowhere to go with it and has been forced to tuck and run. 12 carries, 76 yards in the game to go along with his 148 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. A 3rd and short. Duchesne needs a stop here if they have any hope. Right in motion, trips to the left side. Barnes back to throw over the middle, looking for Pomeranke. Steps in front of the defense, makes the grab, and goes down. Quick hit and tackle by Jarrett Spencer, but Pomeranke has the catch and a 1st down, and much more across midfield into Duchesne territory at the 47. That's a 15-yard gain. Puts Barnes at 9 of 14, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pomeranke's 2nd catch of the day. Barnes in the loaded pistol. Now Neto steps to his right hip in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Barnes started left, now runs to his right. He'll pick up a few down the sideline, and he's spun around out of bounds at about the 31. That'll be another 1st down for this Milford offense. Barnes, that was a quarterback keeper all the way on a read option. What does it look like? Down to the 32. 15 more rushing yards for Barnes, who's at 91 rushing yards in the game. He's just a sophomore. That's trouble for the rest of 1A football. Bryson Barnes, a sophomore. He'll take the snap, give to Neto, going left, and this time Duchesne is all over it. Cade Lamborn, great containment on the right side, and he stopped Neto from getting around the corner, brought him down. Neto gets up a little bit slow, but the senior looks to be all right. Back at the 35-yard line. At this point, Milford pick up another 1st down or 2, and I don't think there's any chance for Duchesne to come back. Loss of 3. Neto, 16 carries, 69 yards in the game. Barnes in the shotgun for 2nd and 13. Pulls it away from Neto, throws out to the right side. He's got Stetson Wright, who makes the catch, and he's brought down. Duchesne's defense suffocating on that play. Brings Wright down back at about the 38, maybe the 39. So a loss of a few yards. Neto with over 1,000 rushing yards this season. Today's game has put him at just over 1,000 yards. Back to the 39-yard line, loss of 4. Stetson Wright's first reception of the day. He came in with 35 receptions, almost 700 yards. Barnes under center, steps back up under center. 3 receivers left on a 3rd and 16. And the draw give to Neto, gain of a couple. Coach Marshall wanting to just play a bit more conservative now and run some clock. Neto picks up a few. Just 1 yard line, or 1 yard to the 38. And I told you Neto's over the 1,000-yard mark. He's just actually, if I do a little better math, big boy math, puts him at 996 yards this season. Snap goes over Williamson's head. He'll go back, scoop it up, and get the punt away back at his own 35. Punts it out, and it ends up being a great punt. And again, boy, sometimes that oblong football just bounces your way. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, in the micro version of that, the punt is only good for about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. Gets down to the Duchesne 14. But in the grand scheme of things, that was a fantastic play by Troy Williamson, as he went clear back to his own 35-yard line to pick that ball up and then still was able to get the punt off. It takes a nice Milford bounce down to the 14-yard line of Duchesne. They'll take over deep in their own territory, and that could have been disastrous for Milford, but instead, the senior leading the team in tackles, Trey Williamson, makes a great play. Milford on top, 28-7. Duchesne needs a quick score here. They'll run 2 receivers left, 2 right. Spencer back looking to throw. Heaves it down the left sideline. Paulson comes back and makes the catch through pass interference. 2 flags fly in. Paulson with one hand on the football. Colton Pomeranke, lots of contact. Paulson had to fight back through to get to that football. That was a great catch, if indeed it was a catch by Paulson. Ball will be in just about the same spot, whether it's a pass interference penalty or a catch for Paulson. It would be about a 16-yard gain unless it's an offensive PI. It was a PI on the defense. Eagles will decline the penalty and accept the catch. It's an extra yard on the reception. Paulson with his 2nd catch of the day, 36 receiving yards. First down at the 30. Duchesne needs that and a whole lot more with 7:13 left to go in the ball game, and Milford leading 28-7 on the Stacey's Repair scoreboard. Spencer in the shotgun, a lot of pressure. He throws out to his right, ball scooped up off the turf, and a quick tackle on Gavin Davis. Good catch by Davis, his 2nd reception of the game, and that's for about 5, maybe 6 yards out to the 36. Spencer again, same formation, 2 receivers right, 2 out left. Jarrett in the shotgun. 2nd down and 4. Takes the snap, throws right. He's got Davis on the sideline, catch, and he steps out of bounds. First down and a little bit more. And that's going to be a key for the next 6.5 minutes for Duchesne. They stop the clock when they have the opportunity. They have 2 timeouts left. Out to the 43. It's a 7-yard gain. Same formation for the Eagles on the right hash. Same play, same throw, same catch, and same step out of bounds. Davis picks up about 9 this time before stepping out to stop the clock at 6:24. Cross midfield to the Milford 48. I think Spencer's looking at something pre-snap, and if that's available, he may continue to take it over and over again. This time on the defense, they're right up on him. Spencer looks, and this time they throw deep for Davis. It's thrown out of bounds on the right sideline. Gage Hardy on the coverage. It was a good defensive play. He'd been backing off. On that time before the snap, he stepped right up close to Davis. Jarrett Spencer had thrown the ball 111 times coming into the game. That's about 10 times per game with 11 games. He's thrown it 19 times in this contest, and a big part of that is Milford getting that early lead. They led 21-0 at the half, forcing Duchesne out of their comfort zone. 2 receivers right, 2 out left for a 3rd and 1. Spencer back looking to throw. Down the left side looking for Paulson. It's overthrown, incomplete. Paulson just throws Neto off of him as Ty came into what would have been attempted tackle had the ball been there. But now a 4th down on 2 consecutive incompletions brings up a 4th and 1 for Duchesne. You got to think they're going to do what they need to just to get the first down, move the chains here. If Milford gets it back without Duchesne scoring, this one is all but in the books. 28-7, Tigers on top, 6:14 left to go in the ball game. Duchesne looking for the repeat. It's going to have to be a big comeback to get that repeat. Spencer under center turns and gives to Ford. He's got the first down and a little bit more to the 46. He needed 1, he got 2. Ford, 10 carries, 36 yards in the game. He's just a sophomore. Between Skyler and Brock Ford and a handful of other young underclassmen for Duchesne, this will be a very good team coming right back next year. They'll lose Weston Paulson and Jaron Morton. Nope, Jaron Mortensen's a junior. Jarrett Spencer is a senior. Cade Lamborn a senior. Jack Roberts, I believe, a senior. Yeah, that's right. And this will be a good Duchesne team again next year. Milford will reload. Their quarterback's a sophomore, but they do have 16 seniors on this team. 1st down and 10 Duchesne, but whistles and a timeout Milford just before the snap. We'll take a quick timeout as well here in the 4th quarter with Milford on top 28-7, 5:48 left to go. And Utah Championship football presented by MyLocalRadio.com.
The best family vacations create lifelong memories. The Wind River Hotel and Casino in Riverton, Wyoming has teamed up with the Riverton Golf and Country Club to bring you great golf getaway packages for the whole family. Come for a couple of days, golf, eat, relax, tour the Wind River Indian Reservation, and enjoy the Native American tribal dancers. Pet rooms are available so you can bring the whole family and stay. Call today the Wind River Hotel and Casino, where families play, stay, win. 866-657-1604.
Whatever you need for your truck, the specialists at Ellingford Brothers in Evanston have you covered. Get everything from specially formulated, durable Line-X bed lines to trailer hitches that match any size load. Have it installed by the professionals. Light repairs and custom welding services are also available. So whether it's bed liners, hitches and 5th wheel hitches, headache racks, toolboxes, flatbeds, and utility trailers, have it built to fit by the professionals at Ellingford Brothers, 221 County Road in Evanston.
Man in motion, Spencer takes the snap, rolls left, looks back to his right, throws. It's almost intercepted, but through the hands of Colton Pomeranke, and he comes up limping on his right foot or right leg. Pass falls incomplete. Intended for Dallas Stewart, I believe. And Jarrett Spencer, 7 of 21 for 72 yards, 1 interception in the game. And that's certainly not the game, not the amount of passes that Coach Cowan wanted his quarterback to have to throw today. But at this point, with 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the ball game and Duchesne down by 3 scores, they have to find something quick. Their ground and pound is not going to get them back into this game. Spencer under center. They go back to their regular wing T formation. I believe Davis on the left side. Spencer takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Davis. Pressure comes, and Spencer will not get away. The ball will, and Milford, I think, has fallen on it. The Tigers have the football, a 28-7 lead, and they're 5 minutes and 32 seconds away from their first state championship since 1993. The fumble is the second turnover of the day for Duchesne's offense. The Eagles have forced one, they picked off one pass that Milford attempted, and that was Ty Netto. Bryson Barnes has not thrown an interception today. He has 10 of 15, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns against a very good Duchesne defense. 5:32 left to go in the ball game. Milford with it at the Duchesne 39. Barnes takes the snap, fakes, handoff, throws left, and Cole Wilson was sprinting. He wanted to catch the long touchdown pass for 6. Barnes threw it out there, expecting Wilson to stop it, end his pattern, and turn back for it. Just the 6th incompletion of the day for Bryson Barnes, the sophomore. Milford a 2nd down and 10. The Duchesne 39-yard line, ball on the left hash, 28-7. Tigers on top, 5.5 minutes to go to decide a state champion for sure. Give to Netto up the middle, starts left, goes back toward his right, tripped up and brought down at the 35. A 4-yard gain for Netto, and that puts him over or right at 1,000 yards this season. Ty Netto, 1,000 yards, 17 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns, and almost 400 receiving yards. 18 carries, 74 yards today. Barnes in the shotgun for a 3rd and 6. Loaded pistol with Netto behind him. Steps back, looks to throw over the left side. He's got Pomeranke, a leaping catch at the 30. 1st down and more to the 25. Finally spun and brought down at the 20. Pomeranke with his 3rd reception of the day. This one goes for 15 yards, down to the 20-yard line. Pomeranke, 3 receptions, 48 yards. Bryson Barnes now 11 of 17 for 174 and 3 scores, no picks from the sophomore. 4.5 left to go. Another 1st down or 2, and Milford can set up in victory formation. Duchesne with just 2 timeouts left. Their bid to repeat as state champs and pick up a 7th state championship in program history. Not looking very likely at this point, as Netto gets the handoff, runs to his right, loses a couple, but the clock continues to run and the football is in the hands of the Duchesne Eagles. Stetson Wright comes out limping, and he's going to have to get some help to get off the field. The officials call a quick officials timeout. Take one more quick timeout here in the 4th quarter. State championship game. I think we'll keep it right here, actually. They're going to get right back to the action here in a moment. Back to the 22-yard line. Milford breaks the huddle. Tigers on top, 28-7, 3:53 left in this football game. Milford looking for just their 2nd state championship in football history. Won it in 1993. Barnes under center, takes the snap, pitches left side for Netto. Good blocking on the left side, cuts up and inside the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. That'll be 9 yards. Netto's 20th carry puts him at 81 yards in the game. They'll spot it at the 14-yard line. Lamborn on the tackle for Duchesne. Eagles take a step up in competition to the 2A classification in everything but football this year. Milford, one of the smaller 1A schools in the state. Smallest 1A football school, I believe. Barnes, offset eye in the backfield for a 3rd down and short. Ball fumbled, and I thought Barnes had it initially, but then a second effort to get to it at the 15-yard line. And there's still a battle for it, but the officials, I think, have indicated, oh, it's Duchesne football. 2:51 left to go. Jack Roberts comes up with the fumble recovery, and with 2:51 to go, the Eagles have just a small glint of light. Their own 15-yard line. They'll need a miracle to get back in this one. Their average scoring drive this season is probably 3 times what they have left on the clock in this ball game. Scrambling a little bit, moving linemen around. The receiver switches to the other side. Strong side is the left side. As Spencer lines up in the wing T formation, sends a man in motion. Gavin Davis takes the snap, rolls to his left. Spencer throws, looking for his receiver, and it's caught by Skylar Ford. No, Weston Polson still on his feet, breaks a tackle at the 50, cuts back inside to the 40. He's wrapped up and caught from behind and brought down by Jackson Davis. And Weston Polson showing some state championship mettle, not only to catch that football, but then get some yards after the catch. Look at him go up and pull that away from Hardy, breaks the tackle, and keeps his feet down close to the 40-yard line. That's a huge gain for this Eagle offense. They need a couple more plays just like that. 45 yards. Paulson's 3rd reception of the day. Paulson in motion. Spencer takes the snap, rolls to his right. Looking, now heaves it back toward his left, and he's got Brock Ford at the 15 to the 10, tripped up, and Ty Netto brings him down about the 9. Big reception, and Brock Ford has been a big play receiver this season. Averaged 30.5 yards per reception coming into this game, and that one goes for 31. Down to the 9-yard line. Duchesne looking to punch one in here with 2:05 left to go. Mentioned earlier they'll need a miracle. They'd need to score here, get an onside kick, score again real quick, and then another onside kick and score one more time just to tie it. Spencer rolls to his right. Good coverage by the defense. Spencer hanging out, now throws. He's got Ford. Catch is made, and he's hit hard out of bounds. Quick tackle by Trey Williamson to stop Ford short of the end zone, about the 1 or 2 yard line. Looks like they'll spot it at the 1. Look at Spencer, patient, looking now, just lobs it over to Ford. Brock's 3rd reception of the day. He's got 45 receiving yards in the game. Spencer 10 of 24 in the ball game. Looks for one more at least. 1:47 left to go. Spencer started out in shotgun, now steps forward, takes the snap, dives ahead. He's into the end zone, and that should stop the clock at 1:43. Jarrett Spencer runs one in. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Eagles are in there, and now do they go for 2? I don't think so. Just try to kick it here and go for 2 later if you get to that point. 1:43 left to go. This one not over yet. Very close to it if Milford can recover what will be certainly an onside kick attempt. I've seen Cade Lamborn once or twice this season. He kicks the extra point up and through. I've seen onside kick attempts by Duchesne as like a pooch kick just over that front line. We may see that from Duchesne when we return. Eagles cut the lead in half, 28-14 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard. We'll take a break and be right back on Utah Championship Football presented by MyLocalRadio.com. When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today. Broadcast today is brought to you in part by Ellingford Brothers. Visit ellingfordbros.com. In Evanston, Wyoming, they install fifth wheel hitches, bumper hitches, provide custom fabrication, cement, gravel, road base, and much more. That's ellingfordbros.com. Today's game is also brought to you in part by Bear Lake Realty. For all your real estate needs in the Bear Lake area, go with the best. That's Bear Lake Realty, Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. Visit bearlakerealty.com. Duchesne, guess what they need to? They started that drive from their own 15. It was 1 minute and 8 seconds to go 4 plays. 85 yards. Here's the onside kick attempt. It takes a high hop. That's what Duchesne needed, and it's got it. The Eagles have it at the 45. A couple-yard return to the 43, and Duchesne, I think it was Weston Paulson, and the Eagles have it. Whether it was touched or not, it went 10 yards. And Duchesne has a first down. Following the onside kick. They cannot advance the football on an onside kick, so they'll spot it at the Milford 47. And the Eagles, with a minute 36, that last drive was 4 plays, 85 yards. They had a couple of big passing plays from Spencer to Paulson and Spencer to Ford. Those might be your 2 primary targets here as Duchesne lines up in a shotgun formation with 2 receivers left, 2 out wide right. Milford's fans crying defense, defense. Spencer back to throw. Heaves it down the right sideline and looking for Davis, can't get it to him. He was pushed or ran out of bounds and the pass falls incomplete. Jarrett Spencer, 10 of 25, 156 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Second down and 10, 1:30 left to go. Eagles with the football, trailing by 2 scores. At the Milford 47, following an onside kick recovery. And in motion, Spencer back looking to throw. All kinds of pressure comes, and he just has to tuck it and take the hit. Big time pressure in the backfield. Eagles help their man up off the turf. Russell Walker got back there. One of the team's leaders in sacks. He had 7 coming into the game. That would be his 8th, unless he's had one earlier in the contest. And the Eagles take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. 4th quarter action. Milford on top, 28-14 on the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard.
Whatever you need for your truck, the specialists at Ellingford Brothers in Evanston have you covered. Get everything from specially formulated, durable Line-X bed lines to trailer hitches that match any size load. Have it installed by the professionals. Light repairs and custom welding services are also available. So whether it's bed liners, hitches and 5th wheel hitches, headache racks, toolboxes, flatbeds and utility trailers, have it built to fit by the professionals at Ellingford Brothers, 221 County Road in Evanston.
A loss of 9 on that sack, plus a loss of a timeout, plus now it's 3rd down and 20 for the Eagle offense. Fourth quarter action, Milford on top by 2 scores. Duchesne facing a 3rd and long. Spencer back looking to throw, all kinds of pressure, and he throws the screen pass. It's caught, but with nowhere to go. Caleb Sanchez is brought down back at the 39. A loss of 5. And that'll take us down to a minute and 13 seconds left to go. Duchesne will take its final timeout of the day. And we'll take a quick timeout as well and be right back with what may be the final few plays of this state championship game at Southern Utah University. When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today. Milford crowd down in front of us on this west side of the press box, west side of the stadium, Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. That Milford crowd is cheering on their Tigers. Milford leads 28-14. 4th down and 19. Nope, 4th down and 23 for the Duchesne Eagles. Spencer rolls to his right to buy time. Heaves it down the right sideline. He's looking for Sanchez, who can't make the grab. And the Eagles turn it over on downs. And that will all but do it. Milford takes over with 1:06 left to go. Jarrett Spencer will likely finish 11 of 27 for 151 yards passing in this game. No touchdowns, one rushing touchdown. Paulson had a rushing touchdown. Milford takes over at the Duchesne 39. Victory formation. They can take a couple of knees and win their first state championship since 1993. The crowd, the sideline of Milford begins to celebrate. With 55 seconds left to go, Barnes took a knee and will take one more. The Eagles with 8 seniors on this squad. Just about, I think, every one of them a contributor. All but one starter on this, both either offense or defense or both. 32 seconds, Barnes takes another knee. The play clock, 25 seconds. I think we'll get down below 25 before the officials get the ball back in place. Trey Williamson starts to celebrate. He's on toward the sideline, and the Milford Tigers are your 1A football state champions. For the first time since 1993, the Tigers win it all. This is just their second state championship. Duchesne was looking for their 7th, but fall just short. 28-14, Milford. These teams met earlier this year, September 22nd, and Duchesne won that contest 21-12. Milford did what they wanted to, though, in this contest, jumping out to a 21-0 lead at the half and never looking back. Their defense did its job. Duchesne scored just twice. And the Tigers are the champs. Milford, first time they've been back in this state championship game since 1994. They won it in 93 and pick up their second football state championship. A big congratulations out to the Milford Tigers. Let's give you some final stats and then we'll wrap this thing up and get ready for basketball season coming up in a couple of weeks.